What's going on YouTube? Looks like I have not missed much. Looks like I haven't missed much at all. Back to the same old, same old. Looks like we ran the best screen I've ever seen run in Giants history. But other than that, haven't missed much. I have no idea what happened the first drive besides Devito got sacked. We threw a screenplay. Devito got sacked again. And now the Giants are punting. Before that, it looks like Saquon made some kind of play on the sideline. And I heard them say great execution, but I got in right in the tail end of that play. But it looks like I said, we haven't missed much. But the Giants ran 6 plays for 19 yards. So, yeah, Saquon must have made a great catch on the sideline. But, 16 yards, 19 yards. At least we're punting from our own 40-something instead of our own 20-something. Tommy Devito 3 for 3 for 31 yards. So Saquon had a 21-yard catch. So, yeah, I missed that catch. But other than that, like I said, it's the same old, same old. I don't expect this offense to do very much. It's just kind of about, like, is our defense going to show up today? Are they going to decide to? Because if they decide to, they can hold this Washington team to 7 points, 3 points, 10 points maybe. Now, if they don't decide to show up, then, it is what it is. I'll do the same thing I did last week. 21 skunk is the rule on the sideline. I'm saying on the sideline because I'm reading the Saquon Barkley thing. But 21 skunk is the rule. I think that's a realistic enough thing to plan. I'm watching this DeVito to Saquon play on the sideline. Yeah, pretty nice play by DeVito too to escape the pass rush. But a lot of times DeVito just escapes the pass rush and just doesn't look downfield and just runs into a sack. And now what are they talking about? Somebody getting hurt? Who got hit in the knee? I cannot tell who got hit in the knee or what happened, but they're carting somebody off. Looks like it's a Washington player. Hopefully he's okay. But like I said, there's nothing really to cheer for at this point besides just being 1 week closer to to the draft. Being honest with you. And just like you don't want to, I can't root for us to lose, but at the same time, it becomes easier and easier to watch us lose on a weekly basis as we the product that we put out there is just disgusting. So, like I said, I'm not sure if Washington is even capable of putting up 21 points on us against this defense. Not again. Not like our defense is just so great, but I just don't think our defense, the way they played Washington last time, is going to easily let up 21 unless they just kind of give up, which is very possible. But we made a play this past drive, so maybe the defense comes out firing. But this is one of the games that kind of scares me. Yeah, I've never even been close. I've never even been close to wanting the Giants to lose a game, to lose any game in my entire life. But it just, now I'm just like, we just got to get the number 1 or number 2 pick. I've never even been close to wanting it to tank. All right, Sam Howell in the shotgun. They're throwing a screen to Terry, and I can't tell who that is. Bobby Okereke takes him down. But yeah, I have not been anywhere close to ever wanting our team to lose. But now it just feels like something extreme has to happen for us to finally stop losing. Because if nothing extreme happens, I mean, what is going to be the incentive to change anything? And now we're hearing reports, and I was just about to get to that. And now we're hearing reports that John Mara is saying that, you know, whatever. We're hearing reports basically that John Mara doesn't want to take a quarterback, and I guarantee you, this is a rather extreme take on a normal day, but I really believe that if John Mara and the New York Giants don't take a quarterback and they have the top 2 picks, they have either one of those top 2 picks, I really believe that you'll start to see some Giants fans start to tune out, like legitimately tune out. There goes Dexter Lawrence missing a sack, and Sam Howell is going to pick up about, 10 yards? Dexter Lawrence came, I mean, he won on his pass rush move and just ran past him. And that's crazy because how many times has Dexter Lawrence hit Sam Howell this year? He's had to have at least hit the guy at least like 6 times this year. But yeah, I mean that's really what people think. I mean, that's really what people are feeling. If they pass on a quarterback, and they're in the top 2 slots, then you're going to lose Giants fans. Look at Sam Howell taking a shot. That's going to get intercepted. Sam Howell is so bad. He's going to make this hard for us. But, yeah, I mean, people will be done. People would definitely be done. I mean, they would at least be done until something serious happens, a change happens, which is why I think Mara is going to do what he always does, and that's cave into what the fans want. And I think he's going to eventually cave, and we're going to take a quarterback with one of those top 2 spots. Now, if the top 2 quarterbacks are off the board, and you think that a Jaden Daniels or a Penix or Ewer said he's going back to school now, but if you think Penix or Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels, if you think one of them are going to last to like the 20s, and you take Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3 or at 4 or wherever you take them, and you think that you can trade back into the first round to get one of those quarterbacks, that's fine. But you have to bring in a quarterback. You got to bring in a quarterback because, again, I'm a fan of Daniel Jones. I'm a fan of him. I'm going to root for him wherever he plays. If he's back for the Giants, I will be rooting for Daniel Jones to play well. But it is going to be very difficult to sell this to the fans because right now we would be going into year 6 and it's a wait and see. And how many times in NFL history can you remember a quarterback being wait and see in year 6? He's not going to play anymore this year. So the only thing we can do is wait and see for year 6. He's finally going to break out in years. Are we serious? Like, this has never happened in NFL history. This may literally be like the worst management. If you decide to pass on a quarterback, this could literally be the worst management of the quarterback position of a rookie quarterback to his second contract in the entirety of NFL history. Because this isn't a quarterback that put up a bunch of great stats and won a bunch of games, but just can't get it done in the playoffs. This isn't a quarterback that puts up good stats and he just can't win because his defense is bad. This is a quarterback that has like literally looked like statistically. Now, last year, I will say he looked the best he looked in my opinion. He had commanded the offense, all of that. But for the most part, he has been a guy that's throwing sub 15 touchdowns, throwing sub 3,000 yards. That's just how it's been for the most part. So how can we go into year 6 still saying we haven't given him a chance? Like, I understand he's been in a horrible situation, but how many horrible situations have quarterbacks been in? And there's been a lot. And those quarterbacks did not get second deals, and they definitely, after they get that second deal, if that happened, which it never happened, a quarterback has never gotten a long-term deal after they declined his fifth-year option. But even in that case, I guarantee that teams would not pass. If they were picking it in the top 2 next year, they would not be passing on a rookie quarterback. That could be a franchise changer. Which is why I think even if we're picking at 4, and Saquon's going to lose like 5 right there, even if we're picking at 4 or 5, you still should be aggressive trying to get into that top 2. And Hadi is lucky that looks like Sam Howell bit his tongue. But Hadi is lucky that they didn't call roughing the passer because he just pulled Sam Howell down late. There's Tommy DeVito on 3rd and 11. He's hitting Bellinger for about 7, and the Giants will punt. And it looks like this is going to be one of those kind of games where they're going to just punt it back and forth to each other, and it's going to be like the Jets game. And it's like almost a blessing. It's not a blessing that the guy got hurt, but I feel like in these games, Daniel Jones would be just good enough to win us like 6 or 7 games this year, and then it's like it's go time. We get Marvin Harrison Jr. or we get this or we get that, and we're going to be back in playoff contention. And the team just isn't. It's just not ready. Yeah, I mean, literally the worst. That he got drafted number 1, and they earned that pick 100%. He got in the game as a rookie. Came in with T. Higgins, which I'll give them credit for. They did have T. Higgins, but he came in with T. Higgins and started the ball immediately. Got hurt, came back, and went to a Super Bowl. So I mean, it's year 6. It's year 6. Yes, there are things that happen that are out of Daniel Jones' control. Do I believe that in a perfect scenario, in a perfect vacuum scenario, Daniel Jones could be a top 10 quarterback? I actually do. I'm not going to just jump back on my decision because I do think that he could have been that in a perfect scenario. But I think at this point, the traits that made Daniel Jones possibly a top 10 quarterback are gone. He's not aggressive anymore. He doubts himself. He's just not that. He's just not going to be a guy that's going to be a needle mover. Because the way I see it is if you can get a perfect situation for Daniel Jones, what has he proven in big and crunch time situations? When has he proven that when all of those things are going well, when you do have that protection or whatever, when has he proven that he can go into a big game while the game is close and there's 2 minutes left and he's got to come back and get the game winning drive besides once or twice in his career and kind of meaningless seasons? So Daniel Jones it's frustrating because, like I said, I root for the guy. I wish he could be our long-term quarterback, but we cannot have the number 1 or 2 pick, as bad as the Giants have been, with all of the opportunity in the world to make a change and have a guy who you brought in that is specializing in developing quarterbacks. There's no way that you can bring all of that in here and not give them an opportunity to develop their own quarterback. What's up, Atlantic Line? And I mean, yeah, that's what it's been. It's been after the Vikings game, he has been, I mean, atrocious. It's like this dude takes forever to get his confidence back, and then his confidence just disappears, and it just takes forever to get it back. And we just can't afford that. But the reports were saying that Daniel Jones is going to be back next year, which is not a surprise because his contract is going to make him be back. But they got to take a rookie quarterback. At 1 or 2, you got to take a quarterback. If they take Marvin Harrison Jr. after those 2, I'm okay. But then you got to trade back into that first round and get your quarterback. There is Terry for a first down against Trey Hawkins. But you got to get that quarterback if for some reason the top 2 are gone. So like I said, it looks like Sam Howell busted his lip or bit his tongue or something, but he keeps biting down on towels, and yeah, it looks like his lip was busted. I can't tell. All right, Sam Howell in the shotgun, Diami Brown in motion, play action. He's hitting Logan Thomas. Oh, Logan Thomas fumbled the ball, and the Giants are on top of it. The Commanders are literally like the worst team. They're so bad. I knew the Commanders would make this a game. I just knew the Commanders would make this a game. Like the Commanders are just like they are so allergic to beating the Giants. They're just so bad. There's no reason that you shouldn't be up 14-zip right now. Exactly, and they always play so well against Philadelphia, and we can't even sniff playing well against Philly or Dallas last year. We played well against them in spots, but we can't even sniff Philly. Like we can't come anywhere close to competing against Philly. But this team can just go against Philly and go against Dallas and be competitive, and we just beat them every time. And that's not even me thinking we're going to win this game because it just doesn't make. I just don't think that's going to happen. But they're doing way too much to make this a game. DeVito play action, stepping up, and he's going to get sacked. That's when you run, DeVito, and you throw the ball away. I mean, his pocket manipulation makes Daniel Jones look like Tom Brady. Like DeVito legitimately just steps up in the pocket, and then he just gets confused. You step up and you keep climbing. Like you can't just step up and just stand there. Like DeVito just steps up and just stands in the pocket. Like you got to keep moving. You got to. Oh, that was a horrible miss to Wandale Robinson. And this is like, why at Washington as a professional football team? Why don't you have any points on the board? I mean, if DeVito will give you 4 or 5 sacks a game just by him being DeVito. DeVito will give you that. 3rd and 13 coming up. Washington looking like they're bringing an extra safety down. They're not worried about DeVito throwing anything over the top. No pass rush. He's got all day. And he's throwing in a rocket to Slayton. Washington is so bad. Washington is so bad. Why do they always make this such a... Notice I barely ever called them the Commanders. And you got a guy hurt. But first off, I just can't take their name serious. Like, I just say Washington because their name is always changing. But why are you letting DeVito carve you up? As an NFL team, why are you letting Tommy DeVito carve you up? Are you about to let Tommy DeVito throw a touchdown against you and that's not in garbage time? Are you about to let Tommy DeVito throw a touchdown against you that's not in garbage time? If Tommy DeVito wins this game, will we see Giants fans saying maybe we have the quarterback of the future? Yeah, I've already gone through the 5 stages of grief too. I mean, I'm done. I mean, at this point, like I said, we just have to hope that Washington isn't bad enough to make us like, come on now. they can't be this bad. Shout out to Joseph Clark for the 199. He says kudos to live streaming. It really isn't easy. I was close. I was close to just not streaming this game and just making a post game, but I just figured, why not? Why not? Why not jump on here and live stream? He said after let's see. Maximus put a comment earlier. He said after watching the Seminoles season go up in smoke last night, I'll top it off with that stinks, man. I'll tell you one thing: Jaden Daniels needs to win the Heisman this year. I'll tell you that. There's no reason that Bo Nix should be favored over Jaden Daniels for Heisman. Jaden Daniels just put up 8 touchdowns this week. Just put up 8 touchdowns. Like, do we really need to have this conversation of why Bo Nix is just favored over Jaden Daniels for Heisman? Is it because Jaden Daniels lost to Alabama? Yeah, I mean, I kind of the announcers. I mean, sometimes I like listen to the announcers. My thing is my problem with announcers and just the NFL announcers in general is that not them specifically, but they can have an opinion on something on a particular play, and they'll say it, and every single person watching or the majority of people watching will say this is the only truth. Like for instance, Mark Schlereth will say Daniel Jones, even though he has 5 and this is completely made up. I'm just using Daniel Jones' name. They'll say Daniel Jones, even though he threw 5 touchdowns, he really had a bad game today. And people will say, like, oh, he had a bad game. Look at DeVito. He's got time. He's taking a shot. Oh! Oh, no. Washington is horrible. They're horrible. We might blow the Commanders out with Tommy DeVito. We might legitimately blow the Commanders out with Tommy DeVito. That is crazy. That is nuts. Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, shout out to Joe Smo84 for the $4.99. He says, I spent half this morning arguing on YouTube why the Giants should go quarterback over Marvin Harrison. That's just a mute argument. I mean, there's no point. This man told me that's all DJ needs is a star. It's all he ever. I mean, he just needs a star wide receiver and a super offensive line. This is crazy. This is crazy that Tommy DeVito is throwing darts down the sideline against Washington. It would be Washington. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is legitimately nuts. Like, why are they messing up our tank? Like, only why, and I guarantee you, I'm gonna get somebody that comes underneath this stream, like in the actual comment section when the stream is done, and they're gonna just like write me a paragraph about how I'm a fake fan because I put Tankathon and we won. But what is going on? Why is Tommy DeVito throwing whole shots that Daniel Jones won't? Why is he throwing whole shots that Daniel Jones won't? Like, you got to be kidding me. Exactly. I mean, we should not be like the Commanders as an NFL team. Why are you allowing the Giants to compete with you? Why are you allowing the Giants to be in a highly contested? This isn't even highly contested. The Giants have looked like the better team. Why are you allowing this? And why does Tommy DeVito have more touchdowns than Daniel Jones in less games? Sam Howell hitting Logan Thomas again for 7 again. This time he doesn't fumble. Meanwhile, you got Dak throwing dots to Shoemaker against the Panthers. The Panthers are doing their job at losing, even though they're not looking for a quarterback, but they're doing their job at losing. Giants are 2-8. Washington is, I mean, if they play like this, Washington is going to end up catching us in the losing category. 2-3. Handoff to Brian Robinson, their first handoff to him the entire day. He picks up 3.5, 4 immediately. And it makes you think why hasn't he touched the ball until right now? And that's the thing. Like, the Giants are going to find their way picking number 5. I just know it. I just know they're going to find their way picking number 5 or number 4, just like right outside it. Even still, we should be trying to trade up to get that quarterback. Sam Howell throws a screen, well-executed screen. Brian Robinson in the open field is going to pick up about 18. The Giants sent everybody on that blitz, and that was just perfectly designed. Threw right behind that blitz. Mike McFadden came. Got 2 free guys on the quarterback, and he just hit the screen right behind that blitz. And, like, even though I want us to, like, maintain our position in the draft, every time the Commanders make a play, I still get annoyed. Handoff again to Brian Robinson, and he looks like he's going to be the key to them stabilizing this game. And he's going to pick up 11 here. Yeah, I mean, it's been screens my entire life. I have not seen us be able to be a good screen team as far as throwing screens, and we have never been able to stop screens. We just are so bad. Exactly, we're right. But we can't run screens and we can't defend screens. I just don't understand why. We can never. And I feel like all of your top teams in the league, your top offenses in the league, they're all really good screen teams. Sam Howell taking another shot, and Logan Thomas is inside the 6. And it looks like I said the Commanders are finally taking over. As an NFL team, you should not be losing to the Giants right now. And it looks like Michael McFadden should have got some more depth on that. Yeah, should have got some more depth on that in coverage. Exactly, Joseph. That's how I feel. It's like philosophically, I want us to lose out, but during games, I want us to win at the same time. 1st and goal, Sam Howell, handoff to, that's not Robinson, it's somebody, but the Giants defense actually swarms there, and he's going to pick up about, they gave him more than I thought he got, but they gave him like a half a yard. I'm not sure who Gore is. It's not Frank Gore. Exactly. I mean, like, you got 2 good quarterbacks, 2 guys who I think are like franchise changers at the top of the draft. And then you got J.J. McCarthy, you got Jaden Daniels, you got Bo Nix. I'm not really looking to draft Bo Nix, but you got a ton of options. Sam Howell almost threw another interception here in the red zone, and you got 3rd down coming up. But you got a ton of options at quarterback this year. So if there's any time to need a quarterback, it would definitely be this year. And like I said, if we can be in the top 2, I think that's perfect. If we're picking top 6, then we need to be packaging those 2nd-round picks we got and a 1 next year and a 3 or whatever we got to do to move to that 2nd overall pick so we can take the quarterback that we need to take. And if that doesn't work, take Marvin Harrison Jr., trade back into the 1st round, get Jaden Daniels or Michael Penix. Look at Thibodeau; he's after him. Thibodeau right there put on a move so smooth, and Sam Howell had to get rid of it. So Washington will not tie the game here. They're going to kick a field goal. Still rooting for Thibodeau to get his 1.5 sack, so he can have his first 10-sack season and the first 10 sack season under Wink Martindale as any pass rusher. Yeah, the defense didn't look inspired last week, but they've looked inspired the entire last month besides last week. It's just something about Dallas. They put up like 35 a game at home, so it is what it is. But I think they put up 49 last. I wasn't watching the end of that game. That's why, like, when you see 17 points, I'm like, no, felt like more like 40-0 again. Yeah, the Panthers aren't beating the Cowboys. The Bears. Let's see what we got going on the scoreboard here. I expect the Cardinals to win, but I don't know who they're playing. So, I mean, who knows? Cardinals are playing the Texans. So that's going to be a tough win, but they're tied up 7-7 right now, and the Cardinals can run that football. Kyler Murray's already thrown a touchdown. He's 4 for 6. CJ Stroud is already thrown his touchdown. I mean, the Cardinals have a shot at winning, definitely, but it's going to be a tough win against Houston. And then you got the Bears. They're playing against the Lions, and that's the same thing. They're up 7, but that's going to be a tough win. It is a division game, but it'll be a tough win. But we do need these teams to win. We need Chicago to win. We need all these teams to win. But it seems like, again, like I'm towing the line between, like, I want us to beat the Commanders because it's hilarious that we beat them, and like this would be just all time bragging rights. Like, we beat you with Tommy DeVito. We completely own your team. But at the same time, like, I'm like, I don't want to mess up the tank. Oh yeah, the turns have definitely tabled. The turns have definitely tabled. The thing is, I still don't believe we're the worst team in the football. Who's that? Not who's that? Brett Coleman put out a podcast. I think this was on Bootleg Football, where they were going over like the worst teams, and they were saying that the Giants are like by far the worst roster. I disagree. I just think we've had the worst quarterback play, and I also think we've just had the team has just at times played very uninspired. Because again, the Cardinals have competed all year long, and we were able to just slice through them with no issue. With no issue when we finally had good quarterback play. And because we haven't been able to get that, it makes the rest of our team look bad. Because when you literally have the worst quarterback play and the worst scoring offense in the NFL, your defense starts to become uninspired. And I mean, why would you be able to run the ball if you can't throw it? Like, why should they even care about throwing the ball? About you throwing the ball or running the ball if you can't do it. You guys get what I'm saying. When you got Tommy DeVito out there, why would teams be worried about you running the ball? I mean, throwing the ball. But again, Tommy DeVito, he throws more touchdowns per attempt than Daniel Jones does, and that's just the God's honest truth. Which just shows how low Daniel Jones' touchdown ratio is. Here we go. Giants in the shotgun. DeVito, play action. He's got protection. He's going to have to throw it. He's taking off, and he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. This dude is like the slowest, most agile quarterback in the pocket I've ever seen. He just manipulates the pocket and just always manages to go down for a loss when it's like they did not get a good pass rush. And now you're giving David Mayo, of all people, 2 sacks. Like, David Mayo, really? Why does David Mayo have 2 sacks today? Because they traded away all their players, David Mayo is rushing off the edge. Hand off to Saquon. He is going back by 3 yards. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's been Daniel Jones holding the ball too long. I think it's been a mix of that, definitely, because I think sometimes he's hesitated. But I think overall, it's not even holding on to the ball. Like, if you hold on to the ball for 2.5 seconds, that's not a terribly long amount of time. And the offensive line has to block better. But some of the 10 sack games or 8 to 9, Tommy DeVito is so bad. I mean, this dude constantly just holds on to the ball and then just runs into a sack. But this is what I call holding on to the ball for too long, where like he's held on it for so long that he just runs into a sack and just doesn't get rid of the ball, just doesn't do anything. But Daniel Jones, his problem was that he would see guys open and he would be scared and not trust himself to throw the ball. And then on top of that, like, he just wouldn't take any sort of chances like that. He wouldn't take any shots down the field for entire weeks, entire games. You got to make that tackle or he's going to take it back. Darnay Holmes, if one thing Darnay Holmes is going to do is make a tackle, and that's why I'm glad he's playing gunner for us instead of cornerback, because he can make a tackle. Because, like, Joe Smo, like, has our offensive line really played bad enough for us to be having 5 sacks given up right now? Like, Tommy DeVito is literally just dropping back, standing there, stepping up in the pocket occasionally, waiting for himself to get sacked, or drops back, doesn't see his first read open, and just runs into the sack. So all the Commanders have to do is just sit on his first read, and then he's just gonna take the sack. There you go. You got Curtis Samuel picking up 5. Yeah, it completely took our mojo. It's like after that first drive, we were running the ball down the field against Dallas. We get our field goal block, and the season is just over. At the same time, I feel like Bill Belichick is going to tear Tommy DeVito apart. So hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but it could very well be worse than what we've seen all season. But it's like, I like to deal with reality, and you're not going to tell me that us putting up 31.5 against the Cardinals is just like dumb luck. Like, you're just not going to tell me that. I really believe that was the peak of what the Giants could have been. Of course, not putting up 31 a game, but I think that this offense had the potential to put up like 24 a game, but it just didn't come together. They didn't have the mental toughness to do it. And I think it started at the quarterback position. It's like, you got to take the shots. And Daniel Jones was the only quarterback on this roster that would have given us a chance to put up that many points. And he just wouldn't do it. It doesn't matter if you have the potential to do it if you don't do it. And he hasn't done it for years. Like, it got to the point where Tyrod Taylor was giving us quarterback play that was maybe like, 28th best in the league? And we were excited because Tyrod Taylor was out there throwing the ball to guys who were open. Like, it was so effortless. It was so effortless. Or effortless. It was so effortless. It was just ridiculously easy for us to go out there and put up points that game. And we just completely just went away from everything we were doing. We ran some of the same plays, but Daniel Jones didn't throw it. It's like the only time he would throw it is when he's down by that many points. I think it was just honestly the belief by that team that they were still a playoff team and that the Cardinals were just, the worst team in the league, and they just felt like we can't give that up. But They lost that mental edge. Now, is it possible that Daniel Jones just started off in a slump and he would have come back and start to look like the Cardinals quarterback, the quarterback against the Cardinals? That's possible, but we can't risk it. We cannot risk it. We got to take the best quarterback that gives us the best chance at getting back to being a Super Bowl contending team, a playoff contending team. We got to get that guy. Brian Robinson's going to fall forward for 3.5 on 2nd and 5. So make it 3rd and 2. I just feel bad for Jalen Hyatt. Like, I just wish he had a quarterback that got the football to him. The only guy that was doing it was Tyrod Taylor, and he couldn't even get the ball out in front of him. So I really wish he had a quarterback that could hit him in stride, because he would literally – he has no touchdowns, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he has no touchdowns. Brian Robinson's going nowhere. They're going to punt it back to us. But I really wish that Hyatt had a quarterback that could hit him in stride, because he would literally have like 4 or 5 touchdowns already this year. I think the only thing that Marvin Harrison Jr. would do is probably take some of those short passes and make huge plays out of them. But he's not going to be the best that he could be with the quarterback that's not going to take shots down the field to him. And you got Gunnar Olszewski, and he's going to get hit like 3 yards out of bounds. And there's no flag. That's okay. Gunnar got hit literally 3 or 4 yards out of bounds, and they threw no flag. He's literally 3 yards out of bounds. Okay. Don't throw a flag. But as I was saying, it's just difficult to evaluate your team when your quarterback is playing poorly. Exactly. I mean, like, year 6, we can't do this in year 6. Yeah, it should have been a 15-yard unnecessary roughness penalty, but they didn't throw it. Oh man, this is what Giants football has come like. It's become like a casual watch party at this point. And here they are. The media is making a big deal out of Caleb Williams not talking to the media after they lost to UCLA because it was his birthday, pretty much the same as Dexter Lawrence last week. And they're saying, he's doesn't want to take accountability. He's not a team, all of that stuff. Yeah. I mean, I don't care what Caleb Williams does off the field. I just know on the field he's a baller. You're asking Drake May or Caleb Williams. I'll take Caleb Williams 10 times out of 10 over Drake May. But if they took Drake May, I wouldn't be upset because he's the bigger player. He also has a super high ceiling, strong arm. He can make plays off schedule, on schedule. So, and I mean, he's probably had a better college season than Caleb Williams. But I just like Caleb Williams' traits much more. Like I said, I would also be fine if we're picking like 6 or 7 and we took J.J. McCarthy. I'd take Jaden Daniels. I'd take Michael Penix, probably 3rd. But he's got the age. He's kind of old. And he's also got a ton of injuries that he's dealt with. I think he's tore his knee up like 2 or 3 times. So that part is difficult too. So Tommy DeVito hitting Saquon in stride. That's his favorite target today. like Tommy DeVito is like making guys miss in the pocket that aren't there. Yeah, that's the thing that scares me about Caleb Williams too. Is like he is like a fiery dude that's like kind of sensitive. Tommy DeVito waited forever to hit Darius Slayton across the middle, but like I said, at the same time, I just think Caleb Williams at the end of the day, Caleb Williams is a leader. I can see that on his team. He's a good kid. You know, I think he will be able to handle it at the end of the day. He's not going to handle it the same way that Eli Manning did or that Daniel Jones did. He's not that type of personality, but I think that he could fit here. And I think if you're a baller, you're going to be able to kind of deal with whatever comes. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if those reports are true because all I've heard is that Mara said that. Well, I haven't heard he said. I've heard that it's alleged that Mara said that he's going to be back next year, or that some of them are saying that he wants to keep him around. But I just think at the end of the day, they're going to take a quarterback top two because Mara is going to get bullied into it by the fans. Tommy DeVito ripping it again across the middle. This is like hilarious. Isaiah Hodgins finally gets a catch after like 12 weeks. And DeVito is like dotting this defense up. I really said that Tommy DeVito wasn't an NFL quarterback or backup, but maybe he plays his way into being a backup quarterback in this league because he's definitely dicing up the Commanders secondary. He's got all day back there. He's hitting not Caden Smith. He's hitting Daniel Bellinger, and Daniel Bellinger got hit right in his helmet, and we don't throw a flag there either. Right in his helmet. Right in the helmet. Right in the helmet, ref. This is the second unnecessary roughness you've missed on this drive. Right in the helmet. Hand off to Saquon. Saquon is pushing the pile. He's going to get a yard, maybe a yard and a half, and go down. Saquon took that handoff like Adrian Peterson. He was running full speed when he took that handoff. Third and 2 for Tommy DeVito and the Giants. I'm thinking that he's probably going to take a sack here and take us out of field goal range. But actually, they're handing this off to Breida, and he gets negative yards. A vet quarterback, not including Daniel Jones because he doesn't audible, but a vet quarterback would audible out of that when you see that they're literally filling up every single gap. They're literally run blitzing, and we don't get out of that play. 4th and 2 coming up. It looks like we're going for it, or we're going to try to draw them off sides, but we'll see. Saquon is back on the field. DeVito's making fake audibles. Is he going to actually snap this ball? He won't snap the ball. He won't snap the ball. He snapped it. And DeVito is pissed. So apparently they wanted to snap the ball, but they didn't. So the Giants took a timeout. DeVito is like upset. Who knows for what? Apparently they were going to try to run. It looked like they were just trying to let the clock run out and just try to catch them to jump off sides. Yeah, I've never seen Daniel Jones do that, at least this year. I saw him do it down the stretch last year where I was like, okay, Daniel Jones is making moves. But this year, I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that. Tommy DeVito's celebration is this. That is crazy. 4th and 2. DeVito has got protection. He's going to take a sack, and he's going to get out of that and he's going to throw the ball. And you got another commander on the ground in pain. But it pretty much almost happened exactly how I said, is that he was going to take a sack and put us out of field goal range. But that was 4th down anyway, so it is what it is. Commanders are getting hurt today, though. But, I mean, it's pretty much been the same story. Every quarterback that we've actually needed to come through in the clutch for us this year has not come through in these situations. And every, kind of crucial situation this year, none of them have come through. Tyrod's made the most big plays throwing the ball, but he's also Tyrod has also cost us a game because he couldn't get the ball. I forgot what happened now. Yeah, he decided to run the ball on the goal line. Tyrod also forgot what happened that next week, but none of these quarterbacks have really shown up for us when it mattered. And that is crazy. That is literally crazy that, Tommy DeVito, where did this dude come from and why did they say, oh, this dude would be a great quarterback for the New York Giants? Let's see what's going on among the other scoreboards. You got the Bears tied up 7-7. The Cardinals are losing 14-10 to the Texans. That's getting scary. And the Panthers. I mean, what do we think the Panthers are doing besides not scoring any points and losing? I mean, okay, they're losing 10-0 to Dallas, but we were losing 28-0 to Dallas. So it is what it is. Let's see what you saw on the bottom of the screen. You had multiple people open. You had Bellinger open. Yeah, DeVito just couldn't see Bellinger because of the pressure. You thought Matt Barkley would be in? I mean, I think you just got to ride the hot hand. He's getting us the losses. Tommy DeVito's getting us losses. Dexter Lawrence just blew up that play and did a horrible job at actually finishing the tackle, though. Is that Jahmyr Gibbs getting a touchdown? That is something else right there. Jahmyr Gibbs getting a touchdown. And just as I mentioned that, the Bears are now trailing, I think, or that may have just been them tying the game up. Yeah, Bears are tied up with the Lions. 2nd and 8 coming up for Sam Howell. Is he going to turn the ball over again? He's taking another shot, and he's. Are you serious, Jason Pinnock? Are you kidding me? I literally said Sam Howell's going to turn the ball over again, and he throws the ball right to you, and you make me look bad. You're making me look bad. You threw it right. He threw it right to you, man. You would still be running. You would still be running. As I'm talking, you would be dancing a jig in the end zone right now. 3rd and 8, and I bet they'll convert this because this is New York Giants football right there. Sam Howell got face masked by Dexter Lawrence, and they don't call it, so we'll go ahead and hit it. But he got face masked. Shout out to Dex. I mean, I don't know how many sacks he has this year, but he's not having the same statistical year as far as sacks that he had last year. He didn't get face masked, but Dex is still making his presence felt. I hope he still gets that All-Pro nod because he's still the best nose tackle in the NFL. Like it's not close. Gunnar Olszewski secures the football. Thank you. But I wonder how many sacks Dexter Lawrence has this year. I'm not sure if Sam Howell is I'm not sure if he's in the league. I have not been paying attention to anything. So yeah, Dex came into this game with 3 sacks. So that was his 4th sack on the year. Last year he had 7.5. Yeah, I mean Dexter Lawrence is the best player on this team, maybe besides Andrew Thomas, but it's kind of neck and neck right there. But though he's not the problem. Dexter Lawrence is not the problem at all. NFL passing leaders. Let's take a look. Did you say he was in the lead for passing yards? Let's see. It looks like he is in the lead. At least before coming into this game, he's at 2783. CJ Stroud is at 2626. Tua is at 2600. But yeah, coming into this game, he is 100 and 50 yards, 150 something yards over anybody else. So Sam Howell is letting it fly. Let me see how much he's averaging per game. He's played 10 games so far. So he's averaging like 270 a game, which is kind of funny because, I mean, 270 a game usually isn't leading the league. There's usually somebody at like 290, but 270 is a good amount. I mean, 270 over 17 weeks? Let's do the math on that. $270 over 16 weeks is 4,300 yards. 270 over 17 weeks is 4,500. So yeah, we're just having a low passing yardage season, which is funny because we're having a high receiving yardage season for number 1 receivers. You would think that somebody else would be on pace for like 4,800 yards, but he's on pace for like 4,500. Well, yeah, I mean that makes sense. He holds on to the ball. That's why he has the most sacks, is because he holds on to the ball, and that's going to also let him take more shots down the field. 1st and 10, Devito almost threw a pick 6, and the Commanders defender is celebrating somebody, Henry. But again, the Giants have given up like 5 or 6 sacks, but I'll really say that like they haven't played bad today. The offensive line. Wandale in motion. Wandale back in motion. He's got the ball. He's going to have to make somebody miss. He did make a miss, but his friend came and helped him out with the tackle. So we pick up about a half a yard, and it's going to be back to 3rd and 9. But it's funny because the Giants are still leading 7-3. We're in the 2nd quarter. We got Tommy DeVito playing quarterback. Wandale Robinson is so – he just threw dude on the ground like that. 3rd and 9. I really think Wandale is underrated. And I think once he gets a quarterback, I think he's going to really like explode. Look at DeVito hitting Wandale just on pay. Just as I just said, Wandale is a strong dude. Right on cue. He picks up that 1st down. Yeah, I love Cordell Flott too. LSU dude. Undersized. Wandale undersized. But Wandale got some strength to his game. You saw how he just laid dude out like that. I really think that if you get a number 1 in here, you got hired on the other side, I think Wandale is going to look good. And that's a nice catch by Hyatt because that was a badly underthrown football by Tommy DeVito, unless he got sacked. I mean, unless he got tipped. You said Tommy DeVito looks short. I think he's like 6'2". I mean, Mahomes is 6'2", 6'2 and a half, something like that. Hand off to Saquon. Saquon is going to push this pile and still be short of the first down. So the Giants will have this at, 3rd and 1, 3rd and inches. 10 rookie quarterbacks this year started football games, most in NFL history. It has been a ton of them. I don't think he has better decision. I think he's playing looser than Daniel Jones. I think he's definitely playing looser. But that only really includes that deep ball to Saquon. But, I mean, it's impossible to know what Daniel Jones will be doing today. But DeVito's going to have to make a decision. He's throwing a strike. Slayton is going to make a guy miss. Oh, the Commanders are horrible. The Commanders stink. They're bad. We're going to win this game. We're going to win this game, guys. We're going to win this game, folks. Tommy DeVito has now, in back-to-back football games. Listen, I got to add Authentic on Twitter. Because Tommy DeVito has now done what Daniel Jones has never done in his entire career. Tommy DeVito has now done what Daniel Jones has not been able to do in his entire career, which is throw 2 touchdowns in back-to-back games. This is crazy. This is literally crazy. That is crazy. I mean, I always love beating Washington. It's just hilarious that they're losing to Tommy DeVito like this. Like, how are you losing to Tommy DeVito? Why is Tommy DeVito having a good day against you? Like, what has Jalen Waddle done to her? Mike McDaniel, to Tyreek is a beast. Yeah, I see some people complaining about Waddle not getting the ball in Miami. Tommy DeVito said his mom still makes his bed. He doesn't have to worry about laundry. I mean, he's probably made what, like maybe at the best $500,000-600,000 this year. I could look it up, but he hasn't made, I mean, a ton of money as far as NFL standards go. So he can make enough to not live at home, but it's crazy that he lives at home because he's from New Jersey. 1st and 10. Brian Robinson's picking up 4. But shout out to Talking Echo for the $4.99. He says Shane better get his trade package ready for this year's draft. Call the Bears and Cardinals with it. Yeah, I really think that that we can get up into those top 2 picks with a trade because we have those 2 second-round picks, and it'll probably take a first next year or something. But I think we can move up there. But Joe Smo, what I was referencing is that Daniel Jones in his career has never thrown for 2 touchdowns in back-to-back games. Never in his career. So Azeez got held on that run to the outside. Azeez got obviously held as Brian Robinson ran to that outside, but whatever. They just gave him a first down pretty much. I guess they're working for us. But yeah, he's never thrown for 2 touchdowns in back-to-back games. 13 for 17. 184 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 150. That's ridiculous numbers. Look at Terry with the soft hands. I mean, a lot of receivers dropped that right there. Like, don't tell me that Tommy DeVito is carving up Washington like this, man. At the end of the day, all we can do is watch and have fun. But at least they're making it entertaining today. Who knows what we're gonna get out of there? Who knows what's going to happen at the end of the season? But I can tell you right now, this is hilarious because as somebody that's from DC, like watching the Giants own Washington as long as we have is really just hilarious because they're always just so confident. They're always just it's just hilarious. Like what we've done already just shows like I don't care what happens the rest of the game because you should not have let Tommy DeVito be this good to start the game against your defense. Second and 1, Washington's pretty much just been going down the field pretty easily after that hold on Aziz. Aziz is bending the corner. Sam Howell is going to hit Logan Thomas. That's actually Jesse something Bates. I don't think that's Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates is a safety. But something Bates picks up a first down. Sam Howell, 8 for 12, 88 and an interception. 9 for 13 now for 96 and an interception. Yeah, I mean, this is just like hilarious to me. Like, why are we up 14-3 against any team in football? Another delayed handoff, and the Giants are just allowing this to happen. I mean, Brian Robinson is just cutting back like a madman. But right now, these delayed draws are destroying this Giants defense. Because it's like, listen, if the offense is going to play well, I can't have the defense just allowing y'all to go down the field like that. I think we get a quarterback regardless. Like I said, I think if the Giants are at like number 4, I think we trade up to number 2 and we just take whatever quarterback hasn't been taken because we have the resources to do it. I think we can easily get up there, but obviously, I just can't bring myself to root for a loss right now. After the game, I might be like, oh, we shouldn't have won that game. But right now, I can't root for a loss. Not against Washington. Definitely not. Tommy to Mahomes. You said I can root for a loss. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if we lose, I'm not going to be like angry that we lost. I want that number 1 pick, but at the same time, I can't be mad when we're making plays because at the end of the day, a lot of people want their teams to win. I definitely want my team to win, but I also want my team to entertain me on a weekly basis. But I do believe, like I said, that we'll trade up to get one of those guys if we're at number 4, which is like the best I see us doing is like number 4 or at worst 5. But I still think first off, the Commanders should come back and win this game. They should come back and win the game. And if they don't, I mean, we're not going to win too many other games. I mean, we got the Eagles twice. We got we're not going to win a bunch of games this year. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, you got Penix, you got Jaden Daniels, and you got JJ McCarthy. So I'm not a Bo Nix fan, but all those dudes, you got all those dudes too. So I still think they don't have an excuse to pass on the quarterback. He's hitting this guy underneath again. Brian Robinson has been the focal point of this drive. Really, the running backs in general. They've been running draws and throwing short passes to the running back and to the tight end because they can't seem to block our front four. And that's really what's kept us in this game, kept us winning this game, is that our front four is not – they have not been blocked yet by this Washington offensive line because they're so bad. Bella, I don't know if we should fire Dable and get Bella. I don't think we should fire Dable. But I definitely don't think we should fire Dable to go get Belichick because who knows how long that dude wants to coach anymore. And look at what he's doing with the Patriots. I mean, if he doesn't have Tom Brady, he's not the Belichick that we all know. Like, will the defense get better? Most likely. But he has not proven to really get things done without Tom Brady. I think Belichick at this point is being proved that he's kind of out of touch with the game at this point. He doesn't believe in wide receivers. Let's see, Sam Howell hits Terry McLaurin for a first down, and McKinney blew him up, but it doesn't matter. Terry McLaurin he's got to have taken like some of the biggest hits and just like routinely held on to the ball of any receiver I've seen. But again, the Giants pass rush came through. Sam Howell just made a little move to get some time. Oh yeah, O-line coaches can go. O-line coaches. Bobby Johnson can definitely go. But I just don't think we should fire Dable to bring in Bill Belichick, because as I was saying before that play happened, Belichick is the game is kind of passed him by. He doesn't believe in number one wide receivers. All the things he kind of got away with that Tom Brady covered up, he just doesn't. Thank you, Kayvon Thibodeau, for making that tackle. That's a great open field tackle. But all the things he's kind of gotten away with, I mean, Tom Brady's covered up. He's not covering him up anymore. So you're kind of seeing Belichick is definitely an all-time great coach, but he's a guy that's older. He doesn't believe that you have to go out and get a number one wide receiver. He doesn't believe in most new things today, and they are struggling. He's so tired of Ojulari. I think best case scenario, we bring back Ojulari as our third pass rusher after we get a guy next year. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, I mean, he just goes. I feel like Ojulari is going to make a play now that you said something about him. Second and goal, Sam Howell is going to run into the end zone. He definitely ran into the end zone. Whoa, whoa, whoa. They're throwing punches. They're mushing each other. They're grabbing each other's face masks. They're pushing. They're throwing punches at each other's shoulder pads. Brian Robinson is kneeling on the ground. Sam Howell's on the ground. Sam Howell's still on the ground. McKinney is gone. McKinney is about as much a New York Giant as I am next year. Yeah, Gronk is definitely a 14-year-old living in. Yeah, Sam Howell easily got in the end zone. Like I don't know why the referee. They're mad at the Giants players, but they should be mad at the referees. Like they should be mad that the referee didn't immediately blow the whistle right there. You got to blow that whistle at that point. He's in the end zone, and now you're allowing this to escalate. And McKinney pushes the guy down like that. It looks like Sam Howell may have messed up his shoulder a bit because the referees didn't blow that whistle. You gotta. I mean, I didn't hear a whistle after they signaled the touchdown, so McKinney is like, I gotta keep playing. But yeah, McKinney's gone, man. Like he's gone. I'm not paying that dude 12, 13, 14 million dollars to do what he does out there. He's not that impact player that we thought he could be. Yeah, Deontay Banks. I mean, what happens is that guys, when they come up to tackle the quarterback, a lot of times they just say, like, I can just drop my shoulder and lay this dude out because he's not used to this type of contact. But the problem is if you Sam Howell is bigger than Deontay Banks. So there's no point in you trying to shoulder this dude. He said he could have easily just wrapped up. But yeah, McKinney definitely just injured Sam Howell. McKinney definitely just injured that dude. Somebody got ejected. So they've got a minute 30. I really don't care who's getting ejected from the Giants, but I can't tell who's getting ejected. But a minute 30 for DeVito and company to go down the field. This will be entertaining. Tommy Devito touchdowns. He has thrown. Let me look up some of his stats. Tommy DeVito has thrown now 5 touchdowns this year. Go ahead and fast forward. We're not waiting to see who knows what's going on with that. But let's see what DeVito has at the end of this first half as they missed the extra point. Ball don't lie. There was a couple holding calls on that drive that didn't get called, and happy to see them miss it. They just pushed each other around. I mean, I can't tell. I don't know who got ejected still. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Is like I can only yeah. Pretty much what I'm saying is like I kind of expected him to miss that because there were clearly some questionable things that happened on that drive as far as the holding. Like I saw Aziz get tackled 2 plays when they got the edge, so good to see them miss that. So they're going to kick this back to Tommy DeVito. They're squibbing it, and it didn't work the way they wanted it to. Cordell Flott got okay. So Cordell Flott is the guy that got thrown out. They ejected Cordell Flott for pushing back after the dude hit him in the neck. Okay, but I mean I'm not worried about that. DeVito's got time. DeVito's in rhythm. Oh man, don't let me see DeVito put up a end of the second quarter drive better than Daniel Jones. 13 for 17, 184, and 2 touchdowns in the first half is crazy. He has 190 yards in the first half. Wandale Robinson in motion. DeVito making some audibles at the line. 2nd and 5. Shotgun. DeVito's got time. And he's going to run into a sack. How can DeVito play this bad and have stats this good? DeVito as good as Purdy. I don't think so, but Deron Payne, 1 yard touchdown catch from Jalen Hurts. All right. Minute 23, 3rd and 12 for the Giants. Crazy because we just got a quick first down and now we're back. Or a quick whatever. Let's see. DeVito's taking another shot. He's got another. Yeah. Slayton got lit up that play. But you got to hold on to that. At the same time, Slayton, you got to hold on to that. At the same time, as they say in Cali, at the same time, you got to hold on to that because you dropped it, and that's really what got you exposed. Is like if you would have caught it and had it tucked, you wouldn't have been able to get hit and your body crumpled like that. But hopefully Slay is okay because I mean he's been balling today, but hopefully he's good. We need a good punt out of you, man. We're getting a horrible punt out of you. First and 10, Sam Howell. Brian Robinson in the backfield. They're starting at their own 41. Darnell Holmes in for Cordell Flott. Nick McLeod in. Deontay Banks in. Deontay Banks has got that's actually Xavier McKinney making that play in the backfield. I mean, there's no point. There's no point in them doing what they're doing right now. Just get back and line back up. And there we go. There we go. Kayvon Thibodeau 1 sack away, a half a sack away from getting 10 sacks. Half a sack away from 10. Half a sack away from 10. That's all. That's literally one of the main reasons I'm still watching games is because I want to see Thibodeau get 10 sacks. The one thing that we said, if we can do this, then it will be amazing for the team. He's the only dude that came through. And Washington took a timeout, 3rd and 20. Yeah, we were in that position where we had 2 picks towards the top of the draft, but one of those picks ended up being Evan Neal. One of those picks ended up being Evan Neal, and hopefully he can turn it around and be the guy. But if you don't hit on those picks, it don't matter how high your picks are. 3rd and 20. Sam Howell has way too much time, and Jahan Dotson is going to go down after 3 yards. And let's see what the Giants will do. They're just going to let the clock run down and go into the half. Listen, folks, I mean, I talked a lot of trash about Tommy DeVito. I talked a lot of trash last week about how he's not an NFL quarterback. Tommy DeVito has like 200 yards in the first half. Yep. Yeah, we had two top picks, and I mean, it looks like Thibodeau is answering the bell, but we're still waiting on Evan Neal because every other week he gets another ankle injury, and that stops his ability to move, and it just becomes pitiful. So. Rooting for Tommy D. Yeah, I mean you gotta root for him, but yeah, it is what it is. There, it's just crazy to me that Tommy DeVito has. He's had the best first half of any Giants quarterback this year. Like he's had the best for now. Daniel Jones had the best half because he completely the offense completely just took off that second half against the Cardinals. But first half, Tommy DeVito's got him beat. 14 for 19 at 189, 2 touchdowns, and 140 quarterback rating. But he's gotten sacked 6 times in the first half. Darius Slayton's your leading receiver for 82 yards and a touchdown. Saquon has 52 yards and a touchdown. Slayton could have gone over 100 with that last catch that he dropped, but he just couldn't hold on to it. Would have been 5 for 5 too, but he dropped it. But now that we're at the half, let's take a look at some of what's going on. We got Max Webster. What's up, man? I'm torn too, but I always love beating Washington. At this point, my brain is kind of set on us. Like I want to beat Washington just so I can laugh at it for like years to come. Like we had Tommy DeVito and you made him look like an MVP candidate. But Bears are still down on the Lions. The Cardinals are losing 21-10. They're not coming back. So with the win today, the Giants are going to move back a couple spots. Or at least move back 1 spot, I'm pretty sure. Because the Cardinals are going to lose today. So that's going to put them at not more than 2 wins. And we're going to have 3 wins if we win today. So that's going to put us back a pick, maybe 2 picks. But we can always make it up, I guess. In the meantime, let me take a look at this Bears-Lions game. Now that they're out of the first half, they're in the second half just starting. And I'm sure you guys will remind me once we get to the Giants game. But I'll give a little quick play-by-play. Jared Goff is getting sacked by the Bears. Let's go Bears. So the Bears are on a 4th down. They're going to punt. And hopefully they can get this ball back. Who's the Thanksgiving game? I have no idea. I just don't know. I mean, like, I've completely given up on the schedule. I've just given up on everything. But the Bears, again, have they have the Lions on 4th down. The Lions are punting back to them. And hopefully Justin Fields can put together some magic so he can keep his job. So hopefully, he'll be in year 6. And they'll just say, imagine if Justin Fields had this. Let's see what he could do if he just had this and this and this and this and we didn't ruin him. Hopefully that's what Justin Fields causes the Bears to do for him. Stroud playing lights out. I mean, as he always does. CJ Stroud is literally a top 5 quarterback in the league. I mean, in his rookie season. Like in his rookie season, CJ Stroud is a top 5 quarterback. But like I said, hopefully they went to commercial now, but hopefully Justin Fields can take them down the field. He's 11 for 16 so far and 103 yards, no touchdowns. But he's also ran it 10 times for 43 yards. So he's put up about 143 yards, no touchdowns, but running back ran it in for a yard. So that's basically a Justin Fields drive that ended up in the touchdown. But this is the chance to come back and take the lead. Yeah, I mean, the Texans, man, like, CJ Stroud is special. And I was really saying that last year. I was like, CJ Stroud is going to be the best quarterback out of this draft, bar none. Like, when you watch him on tape, like, he's so on time. He's so precise. He does all the little things well. He looks off the safeties. He puts the ball on guys in stride. It just looks great. He manipulates the pocket well. He can kind of fade away and still make good throws. CJ Stroud is a guy. Now, I didn't think that he would be this good as a rookie, but I definitely thought he'd be the best quarterback of his class. Devito is having first halves like Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor have had games like 190 something and 2 touchdowns. That's big time for the New York Giants. That's big time stuff. If DeVito throws for another touchdown, I mean, a 3 touchdown game is crazy. Yeah, Stroud is a baller. But here we go. Justin Fields, speaking of OSU quarterbacks, he's dropping back. He's throwing a dart. And DJ Moore's got 4 yards. Meanwhile, I'm checking to see if this Giants game is coming out of half. I'll stay tuned on that. But in the meantime, the Bears are on a 2nd and 5. Justin Fields under center, handing off to somebody who's going to pick up a big gain, pick up a first down for the Bears. I think that's Deontay Foreman, who's injured. That stinks for the Bears. Deontay Foreman's hurt. But it looks like the Bears are starting off a pretty good drive. Hopefully they can come back and beat the Lions. And we got the ball out of the half, out of the beginning of the game. So that means that the Commanders are going to get this ball out of the half. Yeah, we need Justin Fields to ball out, and we need them to win games. But I don't think the Bears will pass on one of those top quarterbacks. But I do think I think they may pass on one of those top quarterbacks if we come with, hey, we got a first round pick next year. Hey, we got 2 second rounds this year, and we got a third this year. What do you want? What do you want? We can give you we can give you 2 seconds and a top 10 pick in the third. That gives you literally, that gives you so much ammo to go out and get whoever you want in the first. That's going to be picking like 6 or 5, and then you can literally have 2 picks in the second, and then you get one that's a high third, which is basically an early second. You could take those 3 picks and you can trade back up into the first round to get something if you want. But I think we got a lot of capital to make some moves after those. After that second round pick we got for Leo was huge. Like Leo, it would have been great for him to stay, but him getting a second round pick for Leo, I don't care what anybody says, it was a steal. And that's not me saying, oh, the Seahawks, they're a horrible franchise, they're stupid. I'm just saying it was a steal to get a second round pick because we traded away a third round pick for him, and we could have gotten nothing or a comp pick, which would have been a late third round. And he's a guy that really wasn't the best player on our defense. I think they're talking about Stroud. I'm at fault for paying him no mind since he was from Ohio State. Their quarterbacks haven't done well. I already said that. It's how as good as they say. He ain't. How is? He makes a lot of big plays. He takes a lot of risks, but I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but I think the jury's out. It's his first year as a starter. All right, I wasn't going to tune in because I thought we were going to get blown out, but we're winning right now. Crazy. Tank Dell is killing it. Yeah, I got Tank Dell in my lineup too. Tommy DeMarino. Oh, man. Let's see. It's probably out of the half now. Justin Fields, in the meantime, is going to throw a dot on the sideline to DJ Moore. That was a beautiful pass to DJ Moore on the sideline. We're still not out of the half for the Giants game. All right. It looks like it's about to start back. Justin Fields just threw a laser on the sideline to DJ Moore, like effortless. Like the Bears should be keeping track of that. Like you don't need a quarterback. Justin Fields is him. 13 for 18 for Justin Fields. Handoff to somebody who gets like 7 yards. The Bears, they look good. Yeah, I would say about 4 of those 6 sacks are DeVito's fault. Second and 4 coming up. For the Bears. Like I said, folks, I'm definitely streaming the Giants and Washington game still. But in the meantime, we're looking at some of the competition for the high picks, and we want the Bears to win. So Justin Fields threw a pitch to, I can't tell who, but Khalil Herbert, and he just lost like 5 yards. They blew that play up. You said you think Stroud got knocked out? Well, if Stroud got knocked out, then it's possible. I mean, maybe the Cardinals can come back. I'm not sure. I see CJ Stroud just made a play. Stroud has thrown a couple interceptions the last couple of weeks, though. All right, Justin Fields here on 3rd and 10. He's got to snap it. And he didn't snap it. I'm going to turn this off because Justin Fields is kind of annoying me the way he's playing. But let's look at this Texans and Cardinals game. You said CJ Stroud may have got knocked out, so I just want to look at what's going on. They're kicking a field goal. Yeah, I don't think Stroud got knocked out because I see he had just thrown a pass like a play ago, so we'll see. Meanwhile, the Giants have just kicked off. And it looks like they fumbled the football. Yeah, they fumbled the football on this kickoff. So, there's these. Washington is so bad. They're so bad. How do you get this bad as a football team? Like as a record label, as a crew, as a football team, how do you play this badly? Like against a Tommy DeVito led New York Football Giants team. This is nuts. So the Giants got the ball out of the half because Washington turned the ball over. So we've got this at the 34. At Washington's 34. Tommy DeVito alone in the backfield, feeling himself. Are you kidding me? How do you not notice the dude running right towards you? He stood there like a sitting duck and just took the sack. Like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, where are you looking? What are you doing? I mean, what's going on right there? Tommy, I mean, you can't can't be responsible for like 4 or 5 sacks by yourself as the quarterback. All right, so it's 2nd and 17. The Giants immediately took themselves out of field goal range. DeVito's going to have to throw the ball. He's taking a shot, and that is Sterling Shepard almost coming back to the ball to catch that, but underthrown ball. That dude, I think that's Benjamin St. Juste. He always does that seatbelt thing. Like, you just got beat by Sterling Shepard. Like, if the quarterback was better, he would have thrown it over your head and you would have given up. You got beat by an old man. Come on now. All right, DeVito here on 3rd down. He's stepping up, and all the Giants did was go backwards. Yeah, DeVito is showing that he's a bad. I mean, again, if you just look at his stats without the sacks, it looks like he's having a great game. But other than that, like him in the pocket is a nightmare. The Giants got the ball on the Commanders' 34-yard line and had to punt. He really fielded that ball. Justin Pugh still on the couch. Yeah, the Giants have given up a bunch of sacks, but the quarterbacks have not helped at all. Like, if we're going to win, just win the game, man. Like, why do we have to do this stuff? If we're going to lose, let's lose. If we're going to win, let's win. We got the fumble at the 34-yard line, and we had to punt from, like, midfield. We immediately lost 7, and then we lost, like, 5 on the other sack. So, just embarrassing stuff there. We got the ball at the 34. And let's see what happened right after that. Got the ball at the 34. And we punted from the 45. So we lost 11 yards. Getting back to earth now. I mean, the thing is, DeVito's been playing like this the whole game. Like, for the most part, he's been just going 3 and out. He's just made a couple of plays on 2 drives. But other than that, we've been kind of going 3 and out. And that's the thing is, like, what's making DeVito's quarterback rating look so good or passer rating look so good is that some quarterbacks will throw an incomplete pass. He's just not throwing it. He'll, like, unless he sees somebody wide open or is, like, knowing where he wants to go with the ball, he's not going to throw it. He's just going to take the sack. So that's why his completion percentage is so high, because he's not throwing passes that would normally be incompletions that would show, like, oh, this quarterback is having problems throwing the ball. He's just made plays on 2 drives that have put up these 14 points. All right, Deontay Banks, Terry McLaurin at the bottom of the screen. Sam Howell hitting Brian Robinson underneath, and he's going to go nowhere as Michael McFadden and the crew is there to corral him. Yeah, I mean, we need an offensive line coach. Offensive coordinator up in the air. I mean, they just have been playing so bad. Who knows? I mean, we loved Mike Kafka last year, but I wouldn't be mad at that. Hand off to Brian Robinson. He is going to make like 5 guys miss tackling him by just bouncing off of him, and he's going to make this a 3rd and 3 instead of like a 3rd and 6. 3rd and 4. This is the perfect chance for Kayvon Thibodeau to get the 10 sacks today. He's dropping in coverage. Look at Sam Howell. I mean, are you kidding me? Sam Howell just really broke off like a 20-something yard run because the Giants rushed 3. Once Dexter Lawrence didn't make that play, you oh boy. So Washington flips the field because Sam Howell scampered down the sideline on a crucial 3rd and 4. Physical stop by the Giants, but nonetheless, they pick up 4.5, 5 right there. So not as physical as you'd like it to be at the line of scrimmage, obviously. So we got a 2nd and 6 punt coming up for the Commanders. And they're throwing another screen. And, of course, they're picking up a 1st down. Again, the Giants are the worst screen team, and they're the worst at stopping the screen. And it's been like this for like 12 years, 15, 20 years almost. It's been bad. It's like they cannot stop screens and they can't throw screens. And Dex is on the sideline, and Thibodeau's on the sideline. And I know Wink is thinking like, oh, I can pull Thibodeau off because We got Azeez Ojulari on the other side, but apparently you don't. And he's not on the field. I couldn't tell. That was Carlos Basham that just crashed down on that line. Pretty much stopped that run from getting cut back. And Commanders will be here on 2nd and 9. Commanders are plus 11 in the third quarter, so this is where they usually do their damage. But we got a crucial 2nd and long here, 2nd and 9. Thibodeau back in, Azeez back in the game, and someone was offsides. Sam Howell's going to try to take a shot, and he's going to throw this away because some guy stepped offsides, giving him a free 5 yards. So you're giving them 5 yards, DJ Davidson. Was he actually offsides? Let's see. Yeah, he was offsides. Okay, 2nd and 4. That was the first penalty today. Wow. Or I guess the other ones are offsetting penalties. Thibodeau came so close to swatting that ball. And I'm so sick of teams throwing the ball short and us just not being able to tackle. Because that's exactly what they just did. Threw the ball behind the sticks pretty much. And they just were able to run and get this first down. All right, Dex lined up over center this time. Now he's moving over to a 1. He's got Logan Thomas wide open. And instead he decides to hit somebody else across the field. Bates, pretty sure. Pick up about 7. Make the 2nd and 3. The Giants defense is they haven't let the offense down because, like I said, the most part the offense has just been getting sacked, but they're not playing as well as you would like them to play on a play-in, play-out basis without these turnovers. Handoff to Rodriguez. I mean, they're just dominating the line of scrimmage right now. Like, the Giants have run the ball 8 times for 0 yards. Can you believe that? With no running game, Tommy Devito has put up 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. None of this makes any sense. That's all I have to say. None of it makes any sense. So here's Washington just moving the ball down the field, matriculating the ball downfield. Sam Howell's taking another shot, and he overthrows Logan Thomas down the sideline. But he was pretty well covered. That would have been more of a jump ball. Would have been a jump ball, but I would have bet money on Logan Thomas to win that jump ball. 2nd and 10. Whereas Isaiah, he's been out there. He's made a couple hits. He's been in coverage. I mean, he's been out there. He's not out there this play, but he's been out there. 2nd and 10. Brian Robinson is going to lose 2 yards. Mike McFadden making plays as he does. And that's why you don't see a bunch of Isaiah Simmons too, because Mike McFadden is balling. He's doing his thing. 3rd and 11 coming up. I'm sure Isaiah Simmons was excited because he was like, I'm leaving the Cardinals and I'm going to the Giants, a playoff team. And they have the same record pretty much. 3rd and 11. Giants sending a blitz. Throwing another screen. Please don't give up the screen. Isaiah Simmons on cue, as you just mentioned, is going to come and make this tackle. And they'll have a 4th and 6. So decision time. Will they take this field goal? Looks like they will. Looks like they will take the field goal. Now, they missed their extra point. So this field goal isn't a gimme. So you got a 42-yarder from Joey Sly. 12 for 15 inside 50. Missed the extra point. And that field goal is down the middle. So Washington 12, Giants 14. So 2-point lead for the Giants. I think they are the linebacker duo for the next 2 years at least. I think that's when Bobby Okereke's contract ends, and they'll probably look to get younger. But Bobby Okereke is kind of young. But I think that for the foreseeable future, those two are your starting linebackers. Mike McFadden's contract is probably over after 2 years, and Bobby Okereke. So one of them will probably leave. Hopefully, I mean, for the Giants' sake, hopefully it's the guy that they didn't draft will leave. But maybe you can bring both back. Yeah, people are saying it looks like Darius Slayton has a broken arm, which is unfortunate because, like I said, if he would have caught that ball, he probably can protect himself a little bit better. But because he was trying to secure that, he ended up falling down the wrong way and getting hit. So looks like Slayton may be done for the season, which is unfortunate. Let's see where. So the Giants ran a screen, and Tommy DeVito just didn't throw the screen. He took a sack. But let's look at what the Bears are doing. The Bears did score. They just got in the end zone, and they are 20-14. Justin Fields to DJ Moore. DJ Moore at 89 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, the Bears are doing their part. They're doing their part and making it a little bit easier for us to get up there. We still can lose this game. It's kind of like I want us to win the game, but I kind of want us to lose the game, but I want us to win the game. But like I said, I feel like this deep into the game, the Giants were competitive with the Commanders. Like even if the Commanders took over the fourth quarter or something, I feel like the Giants were competitive start to finish with the Commanders with Tommy DeVito out there, and that's just enough for me to be able to brag. $5:43 left in the third quarter. Commanders kicking it back off to us, and we're going to get the ball at the 25. All right. Tommy DeVito in the shotgun, 14 for 20, 189 and 2 touchdowns. Play action again. Hitting Wandale. Wandale's making the guy miss. Wandale's in the open field. and he's going to pick up about 20. That'll put DeVito over 200. Like I said, once Wandale gets a real quarterback, he's going to be something serious. He's going to be something serious when he gets that quarterback. They're packaging up those turduckens. All right. Tommy DeVito back, another play action. And you got a miscommunication between DeVito and Hyatt. And there's a flag, which is probably a legal man downfield because the Hyatt was blocking. Yeah. I think DeVito may have run the wrong play. I think DeVito probably ran the wrong play. But Joe Small, I addressed Atlantic Lions comment a little bit earlier. I was saying I think that they are our linebacker duo for the next 2 seasons because that's when both of their contracts end, I'm pretty sure. All right, 1st and 15. DeVito, get rid of the ball. He's taking a shot. And Hyatt got interfered with. But DeVito also had somebody open that was pretty wide open in the middle of the field. Let's see. Looks like that might have been Shep open in the middle of the field. A little bit open. Would have taken a nice throw. But good to see we at least are throwing it to Hyatt down the field. Washington sending everybody. That's really all it takes to get DeVito off his pivot is like just send everybody, and he's just going to hold the ball and just take the sack. 3rd and 22. I mean, that's just something that DeVito just can't do at this point. Is like he cannot deal with any type of, if there's any sort of pressure, he's just going to just give that sack up. So now you got 3rd and 22 coming up, and you just want to get into some sort of position to make this a good punt. Breed in the backfield. Screen to Sterling Shepard of all people. And the Giants will get this to the 39 and punt. And Washington is literally out here like Washington is literally out here like celebrating because they're stopping Tommy DeVito. 4th and 17, the Giants will punt. Please, we need a good punt from you, man. That punt got blocked, it looks like. But it's rolling. He picks it up and ran it out of bounds right there. But yeah, I mean his completion percentage is high, literally because he either throws it to an open guy or takes the sack. But like I said, it looks like the Bears are doing their part to where if the Giants give this game away, we'll have a consolation prize that we will probably move up a spot. I'm pretty sure we move up a spot. I'm looking up draft order on Tankathon.com. The Giants are at number 2 right now. And if the Bears win, I think we'd still be at number 2, but we at least be, they would have 2 wins. We would have 2 wins. And we would be at number 2 just because our strength of schedule was a little bit higher. But they're playing the Lions today, and we're playing Washington. So it could even out, and we could be in the number 1 spot. The Giants have been so bad that I gave up on my paid fantasy teams. I just completely zoned out and just forgot about them. Dexter Lawrence lining up over center. Brian Robinson is getting to the edge, and this is ridiculous. Here they go with lowering their shoulders instead of tackling. But let's see how my team is doing today. They're getting whooped. Derrick Henry is having a horrible game. Montgomery's having a horrible game. DJ Moore is doing his thing. Tank Dell's doing his thing. Giants defense has 14 points. I accidentally benched Tua for Brock Purdy, so hopefully Purdy puts on a performance later for me. I started off 4-0, and now I'm 5-5 because Justin Jefferson, Devin Achane, and everybody else got hurt. Check out my other fantasy league. At least it's been a physical game today. You say he's wearing down that D-line. It's not even a D-line. I mean, it's these guys just aren't tackling. The linebackers and the DBs, they're just trying to set the tone. They're trying to just throw shoulders at them. Sam Howell is hitting Logan Thomas, who has just been disappeared for a couple years, and now he's been a solid player again for him. $170 passing yards for the Giants, 120 something for the Commanders. You got a 3rd and 2 coming up. This is one of the more crucial 3rd and 2s in the game. They are doing a horrible job tackling right there, but they're just establishing a run right down the middle. I mean, Dex is picking aside, and they're just running beyond him. They're just running past him. Dex has gotten he's working as a penetrator because he's trying to rush the passer, but he might just have to hold. He might just have to hold there in the middle of that line to slow that run down. 1st and 10. Handoff again to Rodriguez, who picks up, and he fumbles the ball. This is what a pitiful, pitiful, pitiful franchise in Washington. Rodriguez was all excited because he was running the ball, and he just fumbles. And that ball is out. Bobby Okereke has forced 6 fumbles this year. He's forced a ridiculous amount of fumbles this year. We have now forced 4 turnovers on him. Bobby Okereke. I mean, he's had to force 5 fumbles? I got to look this up. How many fumbles has Bobby Okereke forced? Yeah, they're definitely messing up the tank. Uh, I gotta find this because this dude like has forced a bunch of fumbles, and I gotta find a number on it. Um, he started off of me just saying like this dude is. They're trying to say he only forced two, but we obviously know that he's forced more than two fumbles. But he's forced at least four fumbles this year. So again, this defense, I mean, they're keeping us in the game. Tommy DeVito is like I said, he's either taking these sacks or he's throwing and making big plays. It's definitely going to change things that Darius Slayton is out of the game now because he was kind of the go-to down the field so far. So maybe Hyatt takes over that role, but I don't know if Tommy DeVito has that arm to hit Hyatt in stride. Um, and it looks like they're just kind of not on the same page. Let's see what yeah, Watson has turned the ball over four times. Yeah, the Bears got the ball back at the beginning of the fourth quarter. They're up 20-14. First and 10, handoff, pitch to Saquon Barkley. Saquon's finally making a big play. He's in the open field. Saquon's still running. He's holding on to the football. He can't tackle him. Biggest play of the day by Saquon Barkley. We had 0 rushing yards up to that point. I mean, that's why Saquon Barkley is who he is. They finally give him some space and open field, and he makes a big play. I think the Giants are going to let this third quarter run out here with 8 seconds left. Yeah, the Bears have kicked the field goal, so the Bears are up 23-14 now. The Cardinals are making it a game again. They're down 16-21. So, folks, I mean, if the Panthers are down 17-10, so if somehow the Cardinals come back and the Bears come back, we still have somewhat of a shot at not really losing much if we win this game. We will be 3-8. The Bears would be 2-8. Yeah, but then we'd be tied with a bunch of these other teams. Yeah, tough stuff right here. Getting the 3 wins does make things kind of muddy. Because then we could be as low as 8th best in the league. I mean, eighth pick if we get the 3 wins, which it looks like we probably might do because Washington is so bad. Now we can afford to be at 5 or 4, but we can't really afford to be at 8. Because Chicago has what? They've got 3 wins. Chicago has 3 wins. The Panthers have 1 win. They're not winning today. Arizona has 2 wins. So if Chicago wins, they get to 4 wins. If Arizona wins, they would get to 3 wins. And if we win, we get to 3 wins. So we'd be tied with them. New England would have the second pick. Carolina would have the first pick still because, well, they wouldn't have the first pick. The Bears would have Carolina's first pick. You got the Rams, Green Bay. We play the Rams. We play Green Bay. I think we'll lose both of those games, hopefully. But DeVito coming out playing like how he's playing, it's difficult. It's difficult, man. Like, he's not playing well, but he's not playing like how he's played the past 2 games. DeVito throwing another dot. Oh man. This is like literally hilarious. At the end of the day, all we can do is watch and enjoy, man. DeVito hitting these plays that Daniel Jones was hitting last year. Guys are running wide open like they were last year. This is going to be a handoff to Saquon. And there's literally nowhere to run. But for some reason, DeVito, I guess he didn't have the awareness to switch out of that play. But they were crowding that line of scrimmage so. And it looks like Slayton's got an issue with his hand or his wrist or something. DeVito second and goal. Play action. Sterling Shepard almost came down with that in the end zone. But you got to think the Giants are at least in a position to I would be fine. I definitely would be fine getting Michael Penix or McCarthy or Jaden Daniels. I'd be fine with that. But I do want those top 2 quarterbacks. I want one of those guys, but I would be fine getting another one. Saquon in the backfield. Shep out there. Hodgins out there. Paris Campbell looks like out there. Saquon Barkley in the end zone. Touchdown Giants. DeVito, 3 touchdowns. The only quarterback to throw 3 touchdowns this season for the Giants. 5 touchdowns over the past 2 weeks. 200+ yards. Wow. I can't believe what I'm seeing. DeVito actually put the ball on Saquon for him to be able to turn it. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Mind you, this is a guy, Tommy DeVito, that's never thrown for 20 touchdowns in a season going back to high school. This is crazy. But this kind of gives you hope that like maybe we can get a journeyman here. I don't know. Who knows? But there has to be a guy out there that we can still get if we end up not getting those 2 picks. But at the same time, I'm happy we're beating Washington. At the same time, I'm happy about that. It's either that or our offense started to get their act together only after DJ went down. Would Daniel Jones have thrown 3 touchdowns? Maybe today Daniel Jones would throw 5 touchdowns. It's just impossible to know, though. But Tommy DeVito specifically is just up until this point, he has not been an NFL player. I I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what's going on. I mean, first off, Dable and Kafka have called a really good game because a lot of guys have been kind of wide open besides that Saquon deep pass. And I think he did a good job on his touchdown throw where he hit Saquon in stride. But other than that, a lot of dudes have been just kind of open. And DeVito's actually hit him, which is, to his credit, is good. But the Giants put up 21. I mean, probably for the first time in how long? Tommy DeVito, 18 for 26, 246, 3 touchdowns, and 9 sacks. And the funny thing is, people would say, like, oh, wow, 9 sacks. Tommy DeVito is fighting through the pressure and just delivering strikes. Tommy DeVito is causing his own sacks. Yeah, I can't root for the Giants to lose, but I understand what you mean completely, Sean. I understand completely what you mean because we would all love for the season to have ended last week and us just get the second pick. We would love for that, but at the end of the day, you got to let it all play out. What if we started off 5-0 and just lost out the rest of the game? Who knows? But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, you never know how the season's going to play out. You never know how the season's going to play out. And we can only make do with what we have. Just remember that Buffalo traded up to get Josh Allen. They traded up from like the 20s to go and get Josh Allen. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm having fun just watching. Like, why are y'all as an NFL football team losing to Tommy DeVito? Why does he have 3 touchdowns and 246? Like, this is crazy. As an NFL team, you're losing to Tommy DeVito. Yeah, the Panthers aren't winning, though. I forgot what I saw. The Panthers aren't winning. Panthers are losing 30-10. Another throw to the tight end short. Howell's been hitting those tight ends short all day. The Texans are in the red zone, though, which isn't good. And they're probably about to put the Cardinals away. As long as we can get the Bears to hold on to this win, it's not disaster scenario yet, but it's not looking good for the Giants getting the number 1 pick if they win today. I've never seen a team get the number 1 pick. Well, I have with 3 wins, but we'll see. Hand off to Brian Robinson. He's got a head full of steam. He's still running. And with 12 minutes to go, Washington is close to the 40. Stroud just threw a pick. Yeah, that's the worst thing is like this is what I take away from this is that Washington had found a way to to try to lose to us as we're tanking. Like, that's horrible. So Stroud threw a pick. So it's on. It's on for Kyler Murray to take them down the field. 13 for 19, 147. Whoa, that was close. If Micah McFadden was looking for that football instead of going to make that hit, he probably would have gotten an interception. Looks like Dex swatted that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Micah McFadden made the right decision. He could got that interception. It's good to go for the player instead because there's no pass interference on interceptions. Second and 10 for the Commanders. Hand off to Brian Robinson. He's trying to get the edge. And Bobby Okereke and Mike McFadden combine to make the tackle. I mean, these guys are so fun to watch play. It's just why, like I say, like guys like Brett Coleman on the Bootleg Football Podcast, They do a lot of really great work, but I just don't think the Giants have the worst roster in the league, especially defensively. I just don't think so. To watch those two linebackers play and then watch Dex out there and then you see Thibodeau out there and then you got Deontay Banks making plays and you got Cordell Flott in the sideline playing solid football. I just don't think they have the worst roster. I just don't. Sam Howell's running for his life. He's taking a shot. That's getting intercepted. Darnay Holmes intercepts the football on the 5th turnover today. Oh, man. Why is Sam? It's like, that's my point, though, is like Sam Howell will take risk unnecessarily holding on the ball for too long. That causes sacks and interceptions. Well, Shador is not coming out this year. He's not. Shador already said he's going back to school next year. So Shador is off the table. But I wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't be mad at Penix at number 5. I wouldn't be mad at J.J. McCarthy or Jaden Daniels. I don't like Nix as a prospect, but I wouldn't be mad at those other dudes at 5. You said the Commanders are a bunch of haters. I don't think anybody in the division wants us to get Caleb Williams or Drake May. I think those are the only two, besides maybe Michael Penix, that maybe Jaden Daniels has an outside shot at it. But I think May and Williams are the two guys in this draft that like really have that potential to really be like top 5 elite quarterbacks. Now, the rest of those guys, I think, can be like a Tua. Like, Tua is a really good player. I think Penix has C.J. Stroud type potential. I think Penix has C.J. Stroud type potential to be that pocket passer hitting guys. And I think he has that type of potential. But, yeah. The thing is, I think May and Williams are like the two safest guys to where if you have a good offensive line, I think those guys can be like really top of the league type of quarterbacks. Which one of those two did I like between May and Caleb? I already said is I like Caleb Williams as a prospect better just because he has better traits. But Drake May isn't far behind him at all. He can improvise almost as good as Caleb Williams. He has a strong arm. He's bigger. Having a better season as far as winning games this year. Less risky of a player, but he just doesn't have the ceiling that Caleb Williams has. But like I said, after that, you get to Michael Penix. You get to J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels. Those guys, I think, all can be really, really good quarterbacks. I think can be like top 8 quarterbacks, but I don't know if they could ever be like, this guy's the best quarterback in the league. Nice pitch to Saquon. Saquon's got space, and he's going to pick up 9.5 right there. The Giants are going to ice this game here. Brian, at the end of the day, I just look at it like this. It is what it is. These players they're trying to win games. These players, Darnay Holmes is not going to be on the Giants next year. These players are trying to stay in the league. They're trying to put on good tape. If we win games, I mean, it's just because we won the games. We can't go out there and purposely lose. We can, but these players out there are going to compete. They're going to compete, and that's just what happens out there. Another handoff to Saquon. He's going to pick up 5. But like I said, at the end of the day, the pick we get is the pick we'll have no matter what. They threw Tommy DeVito out there. they threw him out there, so it's not like they weren't saying like, oh, let's. They could have gone out there and gotten Carson Wentz. They could have gone out there and gotten a veteran quarterback that they feel could have given them the best chance to win. But they put Tommy DeVito out there, and Tommy DeVito was just having a good game. It's just what happens. Another handoff to Saquon, and Saquon is about to house this, and he's not going to house it. He should have housed it. Should have housed it. It's hilarious that we had 0 yards, and they're probably about to be close to giving up 100 yards rushing in this fourth quarter. Saquon has 81 yards on 5 carries. In his last 5 carries, he has 81 yards. Hand off to Breida. Breida's trying to hit the corner. He's going to pick up like 3.5. But again, like, there goes Bryce Young throwing an interception, throwing a pick 6. But like I said, it just is what it is. If the team goes out there with Tommy DeVito and wins a game, I'm not going to be mad at my team for going out and winning a football game. And like I said, the trade is always in play. The trade is always in play. You can always take your 2 second rounds this year, next year's 1 and a 3, and try to do something with it. But it just is what it is. Because to me, like, tanking is putting Tommy DeVito out there. Nobody expected Tommy DeVito to go out here and throw for 3 touchdowns against any team in the NFL. And it's Washington. I mean, like, we always beat Washington. Brian is pissed. And then we hand that off to Saquon. They'll kick a field goal. But like I said, I mean, you can't depend on the team. I mean, if they put Tommy DeVito out there, like, I'm sure the Giants aren't trying to, like, do whatever it takes to win every game. I just don't think they're doing that. Like, if you go behind doors, closed doors, and you get into Brian Daboll's mind, he's trying to win every game, but he's not going to go out and get Carson Wentz. He's not going to go out and get all these new players to make sure that he can replace the guys that got hurt. But at the same time, he would tell you, like, I put Tommy DeVito out there. Like, what else can I do besides just, like, giving the ball to the other team? Like, what else can I do besides just, like, saying, like, telling my players to throw the game, which they won't do because it'll affect their chances to get signed by other teams. So there's nothing much that you can do if Tommy DeVito, who, again, Tommy DeVito has never thrown for 20 touchdowns in an NFL season. He's never done that. He's not in an NFL season. In a football season where Tommy DeVito has played in high school and in college, he's never thrown for 20 touchdowns. So I'm sure that they would tell you if they had true serum, because every team is going to tell you they're always trying to win. But if Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen had true serum, they would say, we put Tommy DeVito out there. Like, do you realize we put Tommy DeVito out there? If Tommy DeVito, like, it's basically like this, like, if Tommy DeVito is the reason, if he goes out and throws for 3 touchdowns and 260 something, I mean, all you can do is shrug your shoulders right there, because it's Tommy DeVito. I guarantee you he won't do this next week. Juan, what else can they do to tank? Are you saying that Brian Daboll should tell the players? Are you saying that Brian Daboll should tell the players to purposely fumble so they don't get signed on other teams next year? Are you saying that Brian Daboll should purposely draw up a bad game plan? Are you saying that Brian Daboll should? I mean, are you sure about that? Like, are you? You can only do so much. When the Philadelphia 76ers tanked all those years, you realize that they put in backup players. If those backup players go out and win a game, how can you be? What can you have Tommy DeVito out there? We are tanking for a better quarterback. We just have Tommy DeVito out there playing like he's better than he is. If Washington wants to fumble the ball 3 times and Sam Howell wants to throw you 2 interceptions to 2 guys whose jobs are not guaranteed, you really think that Darnay Holmes is going to say the Giants are going to take, oh man, Thibodeau was close to getting a sack. But do you really think that Darnay Holmes is going to say, I won't be here next year, but the Giants need to get Caleb Williams, so I'm going to drop this interception on purpose? Or you think that Nick McLeod is going to say, oh, I'm not going to be here next year, but the Giants need Caleb Williams, so I'm going to drop this in it. You can only do so much. Look at Thibodeau, sack number 10. Sack number 10. Sack number 10. He did it. He did it. Sack number 10. And like I said, at the end of the day, I'm a Giants fan. So I just get happy when they do this, especially against Washington. But I'm not going to call y'all fake fans. I'm not going to play that game because I know at the end of the day, I want the team to get better. I know at the end of the day, y'all want your team to get better. Thibodeau almost got him again. But yeah, again, I'm not going to play the fake fan game. I hate when people do that because at the end of the day, I know y'all want us to lose this game because you want a better quarterback. But I'm just saying, I don't know what else they can do. I don't know what else they can do to lose this game because they put Tommy DeVito out there. Darren Waller tweaks his hamstring and they put him on IR. They put Tyrod Taylor on IR. So it's only so much you can do. 3rd and 20 coming up. Thibodeau's firing out of his stance. And I think even in these seasons where you get these high picks, you got to have some kind of signature win just to let the coach know and the team know that the coach isn't a complete loser. Like, you can't allow your team to just have no momentum and just be completely just atrocious. You got to have the team with some type of confidence going into next year. Not to say I want us to win every game, but you got to have you can't have the team completely give up on the coach. All right, 4th and 10. He's going to get it. Nick McLeod is going to have to tackle him. There you go. Juan said, horrible if we win. I mean, we're going to win the game, man. It's possible we don't win because, let's see, they're driving right now. There's about 5 minutes left, 3 minutes left. They're going to have to kick a onside kick or hope that we just go 3 and out, which is possible. Sam Howell taking another shot. But at the same time, it's going to be difficult to lose this game. And again, if Tommy DeVito goes out there and does that, that's just what he did. 2nd and 1 coming up. Sam Howell slinging it. Sam Howell still running. He's going to throw it away. 3 minutes and 8 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Yeah, we managed to tank that game. And I would just look at it like this. I would look at it like this, Juan. It's like this. Like, the Giants should have very well won the Jets game. They should have won the Bills game. So if they win this game, it's just evening it out. But DeVito had no business going out here and throwing for 3 touchdowns. There was no reason for him to do that. And this is what I'm saying. Did you see Diami Brown just drop that wide open? Like, Washington is doing a better job losing this game than we did to even not tank. Washington turned the ball over 5 times today. And then they dropped the ball right there in that crucial situation. So 4th and 1, if they don't get this first down here on 4th and 1, this game is over. If I'm Washington, I'm just running the ball because I've won at the line of scrimmage the entire day, and I'm running the ball. Sam Howell isn't getting it. And this is what I'm saying. Like, can you be mad at at the Giants defense for fighting like this? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to see another quarterback here next year. Offsides, whatever. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you're going to see another quarterback, and I really believe that this may save us from some anger because I think if the Giants don't go out and get another quarterback in this draft, like Penix or McCarthy or Jaden Daniels or somebody like that, if they don't go out there and get one of those guys, I really believe they would have passed on one of those top 2 quarterbacks, which would make me not be a Giants fan anymore. All right. Taking a shot, and Terry's not going to make any magic play today. You said this is why we need to lose more games. Oh, the losing is coming, man. The losing is coming. Believe that. Because Bill Belichick is not going to allow Tommy DeVito to do this. He's not going to allow that. Bill Belichick, the Packers, the Saints. Now that we beat this team, those are somewhat winnable games. But at the same time, I just don't think that Tommy DeVito is going to do this again. I just don't think DeVito is going to do this ever again in his life. Because you can already mark up two losses to the Eagles. The Rams are a loss. The Saints should be a loss. They got a good defense. The Packers, that's an up in the air game. But the Patriots, I mean, that's a loss just because you're playing against Bill Belichick. Now I understand that Mac Jones is horrible, but I just don't think Bill Belichick will allow an offense led by Tommy DeVito to put up any type of a fight. Sam Howell's got a nice pocket, throwing it short to Brian Robinson. Horrible tackle effort, and they dropped the ball. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, folks. Look, they just dropped the ball again. What do you want them to do as far as tanking if the Commanders are going to drop the ball this many times? Like, what else can they do? If Brian Dable literally is trying to lose the game, how can he lose the game if they drop the ball this often? Like, I don't understand what else they can do. And again, Nick McLeod and Darnell Holmes are not going to drop interceptions when they have to feed their families next year. But anyway, it's 2nd and 6. They got it back. And you got, I think that's Dotson beating Deontay Banks, who's had a rough last month. And Washington is on the board. So listen, Washington has an outside chance if they can get DeVito to go 3 and out, to go down the field and score a touchdown and win the game. Which shouldn't be that difficult to get DeVito to go 3 and out, especially since he's taking sacks like a crazy person all day long. They can lose this game. And guess what? This would have us leaving this game with the loss and us saying, like, we should have beat Washington today. The Washington is that bad of a team. And laughing at Washington. So let's see. Can they get DeVito to go 3 and out? They should be able to get DeVito off the field. But how about Kayvon Thibodeau, first player to ever get double-digit sacks and a wink defense? After Kayvon Thibodeau got labeled as a bust, he's the first guy to get double-digit sacks and a wink defense. Double-digit sacks as an edge rusher in his second season. Seems like he's paying off as a prospect to me. So they are going to kick with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left. They're going to kick this. Let's see. Are they going to kick it deep? All right, so they got 3 timeouts. They're going to kick this deep. The Giants are going to try to run some clock, try to end this game with the ball, but there's no reason that they shouldn't be able to get Tommy DeVito off the field. You said you think Wink is gone after this year? I mean, anything could happen, but I don't think that the defense has been horrible this year. I think it's been I think it's been mostly the offense that's been horrible, and the defense is just kind of like run out of energy and run out of gas because they've been on the field so much. But just as Atlantic Lions said, I think he's got Micah McFadden and Bobby Okereke playing well. He's got Dexter Lawrence having, the best stretch of his life playing football. Got a lot of stuff going on. Hand off to Saquon. Saquon's going to pick up 1.5 yards. Watson is going to take that time out. Washington is going to take that time out. So it's 2nd and 8. Yeah, the offense can barely sustain drives. I mean, that's pretty much what happens when your offense can't. Like, look at Denver's defense. Denver doesn't have the worst defense in the league. They just don't. But they gave up like 1 million points because their offense couldn't stay on the field against the Dolphins. And the Dolphins just gave up big play after big play. They just were making big play after big play. Yeah, the Giants need to draft another pass rusher. It doesn't need to be first round, but they need to get another pass rusher in here because Ojulari is bad. He's not bad, but he's just not dependable, is what I meant to say. He's not dependable to play consistently at a high level, and he's not dependable to stay on the field. All right, so only about 7 seconds, about 5 seconds have gone off the clock. And the Commanders have used 2 timeouts. It's 3rd and 10. I'm very sure that the Giants are going to just run the ball with just over 2 minutes left. Third and 10. DeVito is going to run, and he's still running. He's cutting back, and he's going to be short. All right, folks. 2 minutes left. Sam Howell show. Yeah, Michael Penix, I think, is going to be really good. That dude throws literal like javelins. Like, he throws javelins to guys all over the field. Michael Penix Jr. Yeah, that dude is going to be good. Yeah, that's the thing is he didn't get hurt this year, but before that, he's been injured pretty much his whole college career, which causes you to just say, like, can I take this dude in the top half of the first round? Because if he's healthy, I think he's a top 10 pick, like lock. And he's older too. So he's older. He's got a bunch of injuries, But if he can stay healthy, I think he's a top flight quarterback. Not in that category of these top two, but I think he can be. He can be, a top quarterback in this league if he can stay healthy. Well, we did it against the Jets. We did it against the Jets. We pulled the feet out from the jaws of victory. So it's very possible. It's very possible. I think like the thing is though, like if I feel like the Giants just always do what Giants fans don't want them to do. So I feel like if you all rooted for the Giants to win this game and for them to get a stop, I feel I feel like they would just disappoint you and just give up a touchdown. But what do I know? No, no, I don't think that's a plus. I think that's a minus, but at the same time, I'm saying I don't think it's so much of a downside that you can't take them because obviously, like you can. Obviously, I think you can have the guy for the next 10 years, and that's fine. If you can get 10 years out of a guy, whatever position, I think you take him. But at the same time, I think Penix. The big problem with him is his injuries, and that ball's rolling, and Crowder does a good job of filling it just inside the 20. All right. Now Sam Howell has this ball at the 19. This could be the perfect game for us. We got to see some entertaining football, and we keep our spot in the standings. Sam Howell dropping back. He's got time. He's going to throw this to Brian Robinson Jr. He'll get out of bounds. 143 left. They still got one timeout. Yeah, I like Drake May a lot. I think he has some Josh Allen in him. I think he's a big, strong quarterback. He can improvise. He's nimble for his size. I think there's a lot to like about him. How hitting a guy in stride, keep it going, keep that clock going. I mean, keep that. Guys, get what I'm saying. They're gonna have to get to the line quick. They're already at the 39. Sam Howell well on his way to Brian Robinson dropping the ball. But Sam Howell well on his way to getting back to his 270 yards average per game. And that's one thing that Penix is going to do when he's. I don't know if he'll continue to be injured or he'll be healthy in the league. But if he's healthy, he's going to hit Penix. He's going to hit Hyatt and Stride. The Bears blew the lead. Oh boy. Well, I can believe they blew the lead, but it's sickening. Trey Hawkins may have just caught the interception to win the game, but I think they're calling pass interference because I was looking away. This is a Giants loss that's I can smell this and this smells familiar. This smells familiar. It smells like a Giants loss to me. The pass interference on the last drive is how we always lose games. Let's look at Trey Hawkins here. Yeah, that's definitely illegal contact. So Penix had a torn ACL in 2018. He had a shoulder injury in 2019, tore his ACL in 2020, and then in 2021 hurt his left shoulder and was out. So has 2 torn ACLs, 2 shoulder injuries, and that's what's kept him out most of his college career. So 2 ACLs, 2 shoulder injuries. I think 1 to each shoulder and 1 to each ACL. So he's been through the ringer. And then to top that off, he's like 26 years old. Look at Logan Thomas. He's a yard short of the first down. Sounds like he borrowed Odell's ACL. All right, 3rd and 1 here for the Commanders. Big play. This is time for a chunk play for them if they want to win this game. And there's a timeout, it looks like. The Giants took a timeout. Way to kill the momentum, Brian Dable. Yeah, the Bears really did blow this lead. That's crazy. They just took it. They just took a safety too. Darius Geis had like a domestic violence issue, I think, and he was out of the league. He had like a horrible domestic violence issue. It was like I think some stuff got released. It was ugly. Only 26, but he's out of the league because of that issue that he had. Let me double check on it. I don't want to spread misinformation on the dude, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened to him. Sam Howell hits his guy for a first down. Thank you, Darnay Holmes, for being out there and being yourself. They dropped the charges, but I could have sworn that there were like some more evidence. But hey, listen, the charges got dropped, so it is what it is. But ever since that domestic violence thing happened, where the reports came out, he hasn't been able to get back in the league. So you're saying 26? I don't know if you're responding to me saying that Darius Geis is only 26 or me saying Michael Penix is 26, because Penix might be 24. And I'm saying 24 when the season starts. So Penix is 23 right now. I just really rounded up his age. Penix is 23 right now. When the season starts next year, Penix is going to be 24. So 24 coming out of college, I mean, it's no different than if you were to draft a guy at 22 and have him sit for 2 years. What's that dude's name? Jordan Love. I mean, what is he? Yeah, I did say Penix is 26. I misspoke, but he's 23. He'll be 24 by the time he starts in the NFL. But Jordan Love is how old? 25. So you're just getting Jordan Love to start when he's like 24, 25 in the league. So it's no difference than Jordan Love being 24, 25 and Penix, because Penix has a ton of experience. Sam Howell's going to have to get rid of this ball, and he just threw an interception to lose this game. Isaiah Simmons is going to take this back for a game-winning touchdown. Well, Juan, you didn't get what you wanted, but this was entertaining to me. The Giants scored 30. Oh, boy. I'll tell you one thing. They helped out my fantasy team. But that's ball game right there. He should not have thrown that, man. Why would you throw that there? The Giants put up 19 points today. I think they're not giving me my points yet in my fantasy team. You said that was a Daniel Duck throw. That does look like that throw he threw against Tampa Bay. But yeah, that's ball game, folks. That's ball game. Washington is horrible when it comes to playing against the Giants. Like, I really thought that there was zero chance that they would lose this game, but they found a way to do it. They found a way to do it. Like, yeah, Ron Rivera's got to go. I mean, there's no way that you can allow this to happen. And Isaiah Simmons gets his time to shine. And this is what I mean, folks. Like, Isaiah Simmons' job is not guaranteed. So he's not going to say like, "Oh, I'm going to drop this so we can get Caleb." Like, his job isn't guaranteed. But this is just hilarious to me. But as always, I'm going to go ahead and hit this post game recording, and I'll stay on stream while all of this happens. But I'm going to go ahead and hit my post game as the Giants defense put up 27 points in fantasy for me. What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Today the Giants won, but they lost. They won, but they lost because right now the Bears just blew a lead, like a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter to the Lions. The Cardinals, I think, had a shot to win the game. And let's check on this to see if they came back. Cardinals couldn't come back and win their game. So the Giants are going to fall to like, 5 or 6 as far as standings go, as far as in the draft goes. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's Washington. I love to laugh at this team. I love that this team can't beat us even on our worst day. Tommy Devito, the guy Tommy Devito that I legitimately came out here and said last week, I pulled up Tommy DeVito's college stats. I pulled up his high school stats. Tommy DeVito in his life has never thrown for 20 touchdowns in college and high school. First off, Tommy DeVito has thrown for more touchdowns than Tyrod Taylor and Daniel Jones put together in less games and less attempts. Tommy DeVito, for the first time since Daniel Jones has started as a Giant, he's thrown for 2 touchdowns in multiple weeks in a row. Like, this is the first 2. Like, shout out to Authentic for calling this stat out a couple of weeks ago. Tommy DeVito is the first Giants quarterback to throw 2 touchdowns 2 weeks in a row since Daniel Jones has started here. 18 for 26. DeVito is an absolute liability when it comes to your offensive line because this dude ran into about 6 or 7 sacks today. We gave up 9, but this offensive line did not play poorly. On all of DeVito's touchdowns and passes that he completed, he had like forever to throw the ball. But 246 from DeVito, 3 touchdowns. I got to give him props where he did do well. Saquon got shut out the entire first half, the entire first 3 quarters, to be honest with you. But all of a sudden, had 2 big runs, put up 83 yards today. Darius Slayton looked like he was going to go over 100, but then he got hurt, dropped the pass. And it is what it is. It's just really hilarious to me that on our worst day, when we're trying to lose football games, and I'm still streaming right now, and I've been going back and forth with my chat because they're like, we messed it up. We couldn't tank right. My thing is this, like, once Brian Dable and Joe Shane say we're not going to go get Carson Wentz, We're not going to go get, I think Nick Foles is, we're not going to go get a veteran quarterback who has won games before in this league. We're going to throw Tommy DeVito out there, who hasn't thrown for 20 touchdowns in a season in his life. What more can you do? Now, Sam Howell threw 3 interceptions today. The first interception he threw was to Nick McLeod. Is Nick McLeod's job guaranteed as a Giant next year? If you're Nick McLeod and you have a family to feed, do you say, I'm going to make sure that I drop this ball, I drop this interception because the Giants need to get Caleb Williams, and I can just, sit on my couch next year and eat bonbons and not play in the NFL because I'm not a good player because I'm losing on purpose? Is Darnay Holmes, a guy who we've been wanting to get off of this roster for years, is Darnay Holmes going to say, no, I'm going to make sure I drop this interception because I don't want to feed my family next year. I don't want to be in the NFL next year. Is Isaiah Simmons, a guy who the NFL has mostly given up on, is Isaiah Simmons going to say, oh, I have a chance to make a highlight play to catch this pass and return it for a touchdown to where I'll show up on people's TVs and, secure me a spot for next year? But no, we're going to get Caleb Williams or we're going to get Drake May, so I'm going to drop this pass on purpose. I just don't think any of those players are going to do that. Once you throw Tommy DeVito out there, you're tanking. Now, for Washington to go out there and allow Tommy DeVito, you guys should be mad at Washington. You guys should be mad and furious at the Commanders for allowing Tommy DeVito to go out here and throw for 246 and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. They allowed that. The Commanders and Ron Rivera allowed Tommy DeVito to go out there and have a flawless game pretty much. The dude had 137 passer rating. Tommy DeVito. Tommy D. The guy whose touchdown celebration is this. This is Tommy DeVito's touchdown celebration. You allowed him to do that touchdown celebration 3 times. That's who you should be mad. You shouldn't be mad at Brian Dable for coaching. You shouldn't be mad at these players for playing for their jobs and for their money. You should be mad at the Commanders for allowing Tommy DeVito to dice them up the way he did, which makes no sense and will not happen again. It's not going to happen again. But that's what you all should be upset about. Sam Howell, like I said, the dude threw 3 interceptions today to 3 guys who, let's face it, 2 of those guys probably aren't on the roster next year. Isaiah Simmons is 50-50. The Commanders fumbled 4 times. They lost 2 of them. They also fumbled on a kickoff, so they lost 3 of them on 4 fumbles. They completely imploded today, and that's on Ron Rivera. I was going to call him John Rivera, but that's on Ron Rivera. Now, we got a lot to look forward to the rest of this season. The Patriots next week. This could be another possible win for the Giants. The Packers could be a possible win. But at the end of the day, it's Tommy DeVito going against Bill Belichick. Do you really think that Bill Belichick can shut down rookie quarterbacks who actually amount to something, but he's not going to shut down Tommy DeVito next week? Bill Belichick versus Tommy DeVito, you can take that to the bank. You can take it to the bank. Bill Belichick is going to win that matchup. Next week, like I said, after that is a bye. And then you got the Packers, which scares me if you're rooting for the tank, because the Packers are a bad team. They're a talented team, but they're inconsistent, and they could very well find a way to lose to us. But besides the Packers game, they're not beating the Eagles. They're not beating the Saints. It's not going to happen, folks. They're not beating the Rams. So you have nothing to worry about. The Giants, at best, the Giants are winning 4 games. We're going to be in that top 8 conversation. And we have 2 second-round picks. We got a first next year. We got a first this year. We got some third-round picks. Leverage those picks. Go up and get that quarterback. If you want Drake May or Caleb Williams at number 2, go up and get that quarterback. If the Panthers have a top pick in this draft, the Panthers, they don't have a top pick. The Bears will have a top pick in this draft because the Panthers traded away that pick. But One of those picks, I really feel like is going to be up for sale. And I think the Giants are one of the better spots for one of those teams that want to trade in because we're going to be in the top 10. We've already got 2 second-round picks, and we have a high third-round pick this year. So it's basically like getting 3 second-round picks if you trade our 2 2s and a 3 and this year's 1, and maybe throw in the next year's 3 or something like that, or next year's 2 or 1. But I really think that we're going to be able to move up to get one. Now, if the Giants don't want to move up, that's a whole different discussion because then it becomes like, would they have just taken a receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr. at 2, and passed on the quarterback? Because a lot of Giants fans will check out and they won't watch football anymore if the Giants had number 2 pick and didn't take the best. Look at Tyreek Hill. I'm watching this Tyreek Hill touchdown, and it's ridiculous that he scored on it. But anyway, the Giants, if they passed on one of those quarterbacks, they would literally lose fans. They would lose fans if they did that. That would be a breaking point for a lot of diehard fans who have been fans for 20 plus years. That would be a back-breaking thing. But I still think you got guys like Penix. You got guys like Jaden Daniels. You got guys like J.J. McCarthy, even Bo Nix, who I don't like. But you got quarterbacks that we can draft this year. You got quarterbacks that we can draft this year. You're going to have a quarterback. You're going to have quarterbacks coming out next year. If for some reason we don't get one, but I'm not worried. I think Joe Shane and Brian Dable are not. They're not stupid. They're going to get a quarterback, and I think they can leverage the picks that they have. You got 2 2s this year. And I think a lot of why they accepted that was, first off, that was great value for Leonard Williams to get a second-round pick. But also, you got 2 2s. You can trade one of those, and you can trade 2 of those and your third-round pick and go up and get a quarterback. And someone is in my chat saying you can't trade up for a quarterback if the top 2 teams need one. That's possible, but who knows? Maybe one of those 2 teams says they like Michael Penix Jr. Maybe one of those 2 teams says they like J.J. McCarthy, and they'll take a second and another second and a third and a first to move down 5 picks and still get a quarterback that they like and also get a king's ransom. So you never know. You can be aggressive here, but it is what it is. You throw Tommy DeVito out there. And you can't do any better job tanking than that. The only thing you can do is pull out the Buffalo Wild Wings sprinklers and trip your players up, or pay your players off to lose, or something crazy that just doesn't make sense. Because we all live in the real world, folks. Like, you're not going to convince these players who need to feed their families to purposely make bad plays. It's just not going to happen. So the Commanders stink. They had no business losing this game. And like I said, don't be mad at the players going out there playing their hearts out to end the career in the game that they love. Don't be mad at them. Be mad at the Commanders for losing this game and turning the ball over 6 times. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? 6 times and allowing Tommy DeVito to dice them up like that. So that's it. You guys let me know. I'm sure a ton of people are the sky is falling because we didn't tank right, but you can only do so much. We literally may have just listen. I don't know if I should say IDC or I don't care, but it is what it is. Like I said, man, it is what it is. Because what else could the Giants have done besides putting Tommy DeVito out there and just putting it on autopilot? Did you see what Tommy DeVito did last week? Like, did you see what he did last week? He was horrible. He was horrible today, too. If he was playing against the actual team, he gave up 9 sacks, and like 8 of them was his fault. So I don't understand how they could have done a better job tanking, but it just happened. And that's the thing. Like, it was also fun to watch a Giants game for the first time in like 4 weeks. Like, since I went to the last Washington game was the last time I really had fun watching the Giants game. So it is what it is. You can only do so much, man. You can't go out there and tell your players to lose on purpose. They're not going to do it. They're not going to purposely play bad because they have to. They're not guaranteed positions on this team next year. Nick McLeod and Darnay Holmes are not going to be here next year. Daniel Jones would have fumbled half of them. I'm not going to lie, man. Daniel Jones has gotten better at not fumbling the ball. He probably does fumble a bunch of them, but at the same time, a lot of quarterbacks are going to fumble on 9 sacks, which shows how bad the 9 sacks were because he saw all of them coming because he just kind of held the ball. But yeah, I mean, I was definitely yelling at that game. Nick McLeod better than Hawkins. I'm on late today. Yeah, the Giants won today. The Giants won, but I mean, I'm mostly just trying to give y'all just the truth right here. It's just like you can only do if you're trying to tank. Like teams that actually tank, teams that like it's no secret that they're tanking. You look at the Philadelphia 76ers. When they benched all of their starters, when they were trying to get Joel Embiid and Markelle Fultz, who ended up being a bust, and all these players that they ended up drafting, and they were saying trust the process, and it was basically like everybody on the planet knew that they were tanking. When they had all their backups out there, when they won games, is it really – can you get mad at the backups for winning games when those backups are the very people who need to play the best the most because they need to feed their families? So the Giants did their part in tanking. The backups and the bums just went out there and did better than what they did, than what they were. They played better than what they were. Like, I guarantee you that Darren Waller is healthy enough to play. He's on IR for a reason. I guarantee you that Tyrod Taylor probably could have come back earlier. He's on IR for a reason. But Markelle is solid. Yeah, he's solid, but he's not Markelle Fultz, the guy that they drafted him to be. And shout out to Markelle Fultz. He's from where I'm from, so shout out to him. But not from exactly where I'm from, but close to where I'm from. But he didn't pan out. He didn't pan out at all. And y'all got me talking about this tanking so much that I didn't even get to talk about Kayvon Thibodeau on my post-game vid. I didn't even get to congratulate him on the 10 sacks. I might have to throw this in there. I'm going to go ahead and hit record. And I almost forgot about this. Shout out to Kayvon Thibodeau for being the first player in any Wink Martindale defense to get double-digit sacks. He's a bum. He stinks. He has a badly built body. All these things people said about Kayvon Thibodeau. And this guy comes out and is the first player in any Wink Martindale defense to get 10 sacks. How about that? We still got what? How many more weeks? I'm looking at my watch. How many more weeks do we have in the season? And he's already at 10 sacks. So shout out to Kayvon Thibodeau. I had to throw that. That'll be my intro. But that's what I'm saying. Markelle is solid after a couple of years, but he's not the Markelle Fultz that they thought he would be coming out. Like if we took Caleb Williams, and he was just an average quarterback, we would be upset. We wouldn't be pissed, but we'd be upset. We'd be like, I mean, we could have just taken Michael Penix, or we could have just taken J.J. McCarthy. But Markelle Fultz didn't pan out. Yeah, I've always been on the side of like I'm always rooting for us to win the game on game day, but after we lose, I'm not upset because we need to pick. But also, like, it helps with the team culture, and it is what it is, man. Like they did the best they could to tank. Once you legitimately, you say, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put Tommy DeVito as my starting quarterback, there's nothing else. There's nothing else that you can do once you put Tommy DeVito out there. But yeah, Caleb Williams, Drake May, those two guys could be elite guys. And I think you probably have one more guy out of that mix that could be elite. I think another guy who's a high ceiling, who's putting up video game numbers, is Jaden Daniels. Go Tigers! Jaden Daniels is putting up video game numbers. Bo Nix is putting up video game numbers, but I don't see him as a high ceiling guy in the NFL. JJ McCarthy could be a Tom Brady type. And listen, not saying he's the GOAT, but he could be a guy that stands and delivers at a high level. All these guys could be high ceiling guys. So you just got to find a guy that you think fits your offense the most, and just tailor everything around him and let him get the ball out. Let him get the ball out to folks. But they better not come out of this draft with no quarterback, because that's no excuse. There'll be a guy in the top 10. The Giants are, whatever happens, the Giants are picking top 10. And there'll be a guy there. Yeah, Kool-Aid McGinney. Yeah, he's a good player. But we not getting him because he's a first rounder. But I am starting to lose my voice. I've been going for about 3.5 hours. I'll let you all get on with your Sundays. Finally, we get to have a 1 o'clock game so we can get this over with. But it wasn't a miserable existence. Actually got a win. Actually saw some entertaining football. Yeah, we wanted to get a loss, but at the end of the day, when I watch the Giants play, I want to see entertaining football, and they gave that to me today. So you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to get my post game up, and we'll actually have something productive to look at this week during the film session. But here's the hoping that we still can get one of our top two guys.